Good morning and welcome to Tech Today, your favorite technology and digital lifestyle show where we explore the ideas, innovation, and people shaping the future around us. I am Momo Lawal, and today promises to be both inspiring for you and also very insightful. We're talking about innovation, creativity, resilience, and what truly means to build something meaningful in a challenging environment like Nigeria. Our topic is From Ideas to Invention, the journey of a Nigeria innovator. Joining me in the studio is an inventor and tech innovator, David Momodu, whose passion for technology and automation is helping to show that young Nigerians can dream, we can create, and also innovate at a global level. David, it's great to have you on the program today. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Yeah, the last time we saw each other, you were busy doing some remarkable things, and maybe we'll talk about that while we go into the program for you. Thank you for joining us again. So I'm going to ask this question just right out of the book. Tell us about what inspired you into being an innovator or an inventor, and just briefly tell us about yourself so that our audience out there, meets this inventor.
Okay, my name is David Momodu. Yeah, I have been working on several innovations for a very long time, very long time, as I can think. Mm-hmm. When I was very young, I have this passion for science. And while in secondary school, I have love for science subjects and all of that. So while we're young, we do a lot of, children projects and all of that, those kids kind of project and all. So it's like a passion that went on and on and on, just like that. So
that inspired you?
Yeah.
Okay. The science inspired you, because science also inspired me to be an engineer and all of that. So I can imagine that.
Yeah.
So now, growing up in Nigeria, okay, what challenges did you face trying to pursue this innovation? Like, what challenges do you face growing up in Nigeria, all of that?
Yeah, I would say there are a lot of challenges because we are not in a tech society, and we don't have a country that have a foundation for technology. A lot of advanced countries, they have this foundation for young people that have several talents, skills, and all of that to really propagate whatsoever they are into, their skills. But Nigeria is very wonderful. I don't want to say Nigeria is bad. Nigeria is a great country. It's going to be a great country. So let me be very.
But we are great. We may be greater.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are in the process. So what I would say, the country is good, but we don't really have much facilities. We don't have a lot of things we've been able to put together to help young people to achieve their dreams and their goals when it comes to tech. So I would say that it has not really been easy for that tech journey from all these years. But when you have passion for something, you just keep going, and you don't care about the storms, you don't care about the challenges, you don't even care about your country. Whether the country is good or not.
So part of the challenges, like you said, sorry I'm interrupting you, part of the challenges, like you said, is that you did not have the right tools to use. But at any point in time, the power, the fact that there was no constant power, did it affect your innovation?
No, it didn't. I think that's the driving force behind what I'm doing. Okay. I'm passionate about making new things, and when I didn't see some of these things to use, like power and those days there was not really internet like that. But this time, with the help of technology and all of that, I would just say nothing of such actually stopped me from making progress. So I just have to move and.
But interesting. I also behind this, when we're talking before now, you said there were some times you almost gave up whilst you were, pursuing any of these projects you may have already done before or you are doing currently. So what are those times? What made you almost give up? And if you did, what now made you, continue doing what you're doing?
Okay, I would say I almost gave up there are some times in my life, like the very first project I did, I can really remember that it's kind of very, very creative, was a multi-purpose spraying machine. Like, you know, it can spray perfume and all of that. Before the advent of these latest that we used to have in houses that you just mount on the wall and it sprays.
Like a sprinkler?
Yeah. Okay. Mine was just kind of very small and can place anywhere. But that time, there was no really internet. There was internet, but it was not as robust as we have these days. So, you know, it's something that I don't know how to really... I'm really going to put it, but I think God really helped. Let me use the word, let me bring God in. God really helped me on the process, and I find so many challenges. Those days, you know, there was no help. A particular time when I was done with that project, I was looking for a way to really project it. There was no help at all and all that. So I'm giving up right now and all of that. But then I think I was just about preparing to enter into school. So university, yeah. Okay. And it happens that I was able to, you know, stumble to meet one or two persons that encouraged me financially. And when I get to school, my first year in school, I did pretty good first at Benzi University. Okay. And it was not really easy for me. I dropped out, you know, like that. One or two things came up. I went to Lagos. I went to Covenant University. Oh. I went straight to CXT department.
What's CXT?
CXT is that's Covenant University Science and Tech something. Okay. Yeah, I can't really remember it's a department for science, kind of. For science and innovations, for just science students. Okay. So when I went there, I met some people. Some students. They just kind of interrogate me, check my project and all of that. And
you already had a project then?
Yeah, that was the multi-purpose spraying system. I was about to throw away.
So, beautiful.
When I made that move, and I was able to meet one or two persons, and from there I was able to meet the former president of Nigerian Association of Inventors. Okay. Which happens to be my uncle. I never knew he was related to me. So I think the professor actually connected me to him. And by God's special grace, something came up like that. I attended the first Covenant University Invention Exhibition Program. That was 2005/2006.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it was awesome. And by God's grace again, you know, I came out very well on that summit, program. And what happened was my project was selected for the Indian trip the following year, which was 2006.
February. Trip to India?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good motivation.
Okay. Seriously, that was where I kind of, you know, believe that I think there is, on this route that I'm taking, there is hope, like I should keep on. So that my initial time of, okay, I'm giving up and all of that. Immediately this scenario comes in, like when this scenario plays in, I just like, okay, fine, maybe this is just it, so let me just keep on working. And when I came back, I was encouraged, and yeah.
I'm happy to hear that, and I'm sure a lot of young persons out there watching will also be encouraged and also motivated by your own, you know, I'll call it circumstances or some challenges you were going through at the period. But above all, God intervened, and also you had some support from, you know, like minds and people that are also tech experts in the field, and also encourage you to also push further. Now, we have young people watching, young people out there who may have this idea. They may have an idea to, you know, create something, to invent something, to, you know, maybe what has already been invented, you know, try and, you know, duplicate it or make it in a particular style that will suit us in Africa or wherever they are, you know, trying to push this. But they may also lack confidence in pushing these ideas further.
It is your own enthusiasm, it's your own passion, your drive that can really take you to where you are going. Your country may not really be a tech society, but you can actually still create something out, and you can meet people that are, you know, very good in the area in which you are. Depends on the kind of technology you are creating, you want to create, you want to invent. So maybe God can be on your side, and you can have one or two helping hands to move your invention forward. But the thing is, you have to be passionate, because a lot of people give up so easily because of the situation of the country.
I can imagine, like you almost did.
Yes.
You know, it's a good advice out there. I want to also add that, just like David also said, you should not give up. You should continue pushing. You should ensure that what's your idea, the idea you may have that you may think, you may not be confident to even go out there. Because you say you were trying to do a sprinkler, right? Something like what we have right now.
Yes.
Or a multi-purpose spraying system
Yep.
that would, you know, maybe be placed somewhere and it's...
Yeah, that
Could
was...
you can talk about that now. Could you just walk us through that project before we go into the next question per se, so we understand that better?
Yeah. You know, one thing about young people, when you are still very young, you have this rush of adrenaline in your system. You want to create something, you want to do a lot of things.
Okay.
And that time I don't used to do, there's not like I'm trying to review product that already existing. Maybe there's one that I didn't know about. But for my own design, I would just, okay, fine. Let me just create something you can put on your desk and spray perf and make the place look very, very okay. And
Oh, okay.
that was my idea. Okay, let me create something very micro that people can be using in their offices. As at that time, we didn't have the production of these little ones that are placed in the offices.
Yeah, that you place on the wall.
Yeah, at that time, there was something like that.
Okay, okay, now I get it. Okay.
If we as a country, if I really meet one or two persons that's, okay, fine, I'm going to invest into this idea and I'll take it further from this prototype level to pilot stage, I think I would have really make money from that thing if I had that opportunity.
Wow.
It never really came up, and that didn't really stop me from doing other things, building more projects in the future.
Okay, now you talk about creativity a lot when you're in your speech here, and I want to ask this: how important is creativity and problem solving? How important is it to becoming an inventor?
It's very, very important. Very, very important, because now you don't just, these days you don't create product, you have to sit down and think, and what's the need of the society? What do my country or what do Nigeria really need? Okay, wherever you are, you can be somewhere far off. What do these states, these environments, like I'm from Edo State, what do we really need? What's the problem? What's the problem that we have as a country? Before you can start doing something. So, because your passion and your invention should be solving a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may not really be on a global stage at the moment,
just be locally.
but you could start from somewhere. So when you have that idea of the problem, then before you start inventing, I think you're going to have people to look at your side from what I've experienced, little experience in the past. And
what would be your advice, talking to Nigerian governments,
A lot is happening in the society. We are in an age where technology is almost, doing most of the solving most of the problems that we find in our daily lives. And our young people have a whole lot of talents, and I think the government should be looking at creating more avenues for young people to actually explore, and creating funds to fund their invention, their innovations. By so doing, when they build that spirit and they have this, their confidence will be built, number one. They'll feel, okay, fine, what I'm doing, I think there is a way forward for me, because there is help. Somebody is bringing in funds to encourage what I'm doing. So if that will build their confidence, number one, and number two, they will have this idea in them that, okay, fine, I think there is a future in what I'm doing. So if the government can create more financial avenues for them to, access funds to build their prototypes, if they have already built them, they could think of the pilot stage. Yeah, the pilot stage is, without the pilot stage, your innovation is as good as dead. So that's why you just have to keep pushing. Because no matter how beautiful your idea is, it only solve problem when you get to the market. Yeah, and when end users are using it. Yeah, so the government should try as much as possible to help young people.
So it's all about the finances for you.
Yeah, finances, because we have a lot of young people with ideas, to be honest, a lot. So they just don't have sponsors, no person to really put in money to whatever they are doing.
I also sometimes think that like as a country, I think we heard sometime that we don't even produce toothpick.
Okay.
This has to do with production now, not in invention, but then we don't produce toothpick. So it's something that we need to really consider.
Yes, we have
having to put finances in place for tech talents to explore, and also, but like I said, I've reported during some tech updates that we have tech hubs, we have expos, we have tech centers, we have programs that people now that the government now organize, and they invite these tech talents and tech enthusiasts to come and showcase what they are doing, and from there they pick maybe the top 3 or the top 5, and maybe sponsor them to go further, or also put them in places where they can push themselves even further. Now, the next question I'm asking is more relating to your field, because automation and artificial intelligence is growing rapidly, fast in the global scene. Where do you think Nigeria fits in all of this? Talking about artificial intelligence, talking about automation, because that is like the future right now. So where do you think Nigeria fits in this?
Okay, our young people, like our young ones, they are into one or two. They have one or two skills, so they are into one or two things they are doing. And as a country, I won't really say. I would say we are not really doing much. Yeah, in artificial intelligence. Depends on what our young people are into. Like for me, I'm into automation and robotics. Yeah, and again, for people that have ideas, ton of AI ideas. You have ideas that it's AI based. I think they should do something about it. They should, if possible, they should, anyhow they could just get their ideas running and all of that.
So you're saying Nigeria we're not there yet?
No, we are not there. I think we are trying. Yeah, because young people these days they are creating a whole lot of content like.
With the introduction of artificial intelligence, I see that we have lots of AI agents out there that does automation. We have AI agent that creates websites and all of that and all sorts. So you don't think Nigeria is, like Nigerians? Okay, let's not talk Nigeria as a government now, as a country. Nigerians, do you think they're not going to adapt quickly to automation? Or talking about artificial intelligence, you think they're not going to adapt quickly to it?
They will definitely.
But currently we are not there.
We are not really there. It's not like we have not. Some of these youth have not really learned one or two AI tools, but we are not really as vast compared to developed nations. We are still on our way. We are still evolving. Yeah, we are still evolving. Young people are still evolving, and it all depends on the kind of content, kind of AI content they are creating. These days, a lot of automation is going on, and a lot of people that actually love tech, young people that love tech, they are very few. They are not really they are few these days, to be honest.
Okay.
Anything that will help, that will stress somebody, they'll feel like, I'll be stressing myself doing this thing. Let me just do this, this ideology of making money fast. Young people, they don't want to do things that will really stress them. But there are some others that are actually doing something good, like, web creation and all of that, AI content, and all those beautiful things.
Yeah.
So we can, by God's grace, I think we are evolving and we definitely will get there.
Well, by God's grace, we are evolving and we'll definitely get there. I can even see young persons doing AI content, musical videos, AI musical videos. I can see that we are even creating websites. I can see that we are even having some automations coming up somewhere. I've witnessed where someone created an automated, okay, I'm not going to talk about that too much, but it's an automated device that does a lot and lots of help. And I know yourself, you also have something on the way that we also reported here on ITV, where you did magic, and eventually maybe one of the days on Tech Today, we'll bring the product and we'll practicalize it and see how it works. And eventually you tell us, that day will just be a topic for that, because I really want to know what you did and how you make that come alive, because it's quite fascinating. Yeah, David? And yeah, I'm really happy about that, because I like to see Nigerians push themselves even further in this area. So yeah, we're going to go on a short break right now where when we come back, we still have David in the studio, the inventor and innovator, where we're going to ask him more questions and maybe share some light on what we can do moving forward in making, we're going to have more young inventors and more innovators in Nigeria. Don't go nowhere. It's Tech Today. Welcome back to the program. It's still Tech Today. I'm still in the studio with David Momodu. We were talking from ideas to innovation, the journey of a young innovator. And we're going to just go more and ask him more questions where we'll explore many things. I want to learn a lot. I want to see, maybe tomorrow I want to invent something and just call myself an innovator. I'll be proud to do that and also showcase it to you out there. I know you watching out there may be interested in knowing how his mind works and maybe some skills you may want to learn when you are venturing into tech or venturing into things like this. So, David, for young people watching out there, seeing you and, hearing your story and seeing what you've done, what kind of skills do you think young people, young enthusiasts, young tech talent enthusiasts out there would want to know if they're going to venture into innovation or even venture into tech? So what skills, because people get to ask me this question a lot of times, or ask me, what skills should I start learning? What skills should I upskill myself on to become, good in this area?
Yeah, from the advent of latest technology, we all know artificial intelligence that is taking the world by storm. I think young people should take advantage of learning new AI skills. Yeah.
New AI skills, like?
New AI skills. It may not really be in robotics, but it can be in other areas. Automation. And
they should not learn data science, data analytics.
Definitely. It depends on their passion, what they have. I think one of the things is, if you are a tech person, there must be an area where your interest is much higher. Like, okay, fine. For me, I like design, I like robotics, I like anything that has to do with hardware automation. Yeah, okay. I may not really be having this interest with websites creation, front end, back end, but I love to do something that I can see physically, like in machine, something that works and maybe solve new problems. So I love things like that. So I don't know about the young people.
Okay.
So if you are coming to this, if you want to build new products, you should be looking into AI as a tool to so that you're really going to focus on, or you will use to enhance whatsoever you're doing. Yeah. Whatever project you are designing, you're going to look into AI and AI aspect, because the world has really gone far. Yeah.
Okay. I really like the advice you gave them out there. But then now, I'm going to ask you this question. This is why I wanted to really take us real deep into your own lifestyle, real deep into David Momodu. Looking back, how far you've come, what would you say are the achievements that you're most proud of that you've done? I'm not saying you should start telling me exactly what you did, but then the achievements you've had, I really want to know. What would you say? Because people are really eager to know what the achievements you've done thus far that you're really proud of.
Yeah, I really would thank God for God's grace and His goodness. The thing is, by God's grace, over the years, my late uncle was really not really happy when I never have a patent. Yeah. Before he passed some years ago, he was like, try and get patent for your designs. Whatever you are building, try and get patents. You don't have a patent. He kept telling me.
So I'm going to interrupt you here. For some persons who are just listening to tech for the first time, you want to explain what patents means so that they grasp it. Because we break down tech for people in simple languages. Okay? Okay,
patents is a federal government kind of documents given to you as the original owner of an idea, and giving you the opportunity to explore it within a certain period of time.
Beautiful.
Yeah, before it can.
All right, so continue.
So like I said earlier, I really thank God for everything, and I would say when my uncle passed, I began to trust God. I was going to get something out from whatever I'm doing, my patents, trying to filing 1 or 2 patents for my ideas and all of that. It was not really easy at that time. But a time came when I think the previous president of Nigeria bring this avenue where young people could just apply for patents and will get it without you really paying. So I took that opportunity.
Okay.
So by God's grace, I had about 5 patents.
Oh.
I'm proud of. I already thank God for.
5 patents?
Yes, 5 patents.
Could you tell us what they are your ideas now? Nobody's going to steal them.
Okay.
What are the 5?
Okay, the 5 patents.
Okay.
Let me just give some few ones.
Okay, okay, no, don't give us all. Okay, yeah, okay.
Just few ones.
Okay.
Number 1 is the automated head seat system. Yeah, let me put it this way. The automated head seat system is a safety device that is mounted to your chair just in case there is an accident, so that
in your vehicle,
so that your neck, you don't have fracture in your neck. Maybe there is some assaulting or something, so that you don't sustain fracture from your spinal cord down and all of that. So the system has a robotic hand. So it's deployed immediately when you start driving. It falls down like this, and if you are driving, even when you turn, like, it doesn't affect you, turn your other direction, it doesn't. But if there is any bump or somersaulting, it is deployed, so to save your neck from hitting.
That is one.
Like
another one. Just one more. Just one more to tease the audience.
Okay. The other one was the automated hair loosening system. Oh. Actually, I created a system, a machine, automated hair braiding machine, 2008. I didn't tell you about that one. But because I didn't have sponsor and people to encourage me to really patent that work then, I think it was hijacked kind of when we traveled one time, and it was actually mass produced.
Oh.
So when I came back,
to braid hair for ladies.
Yes, yeah, automated hair braiding machine. Yes, the African version. I did that design. I still remember. But when I found out that there was no really this encouragement like to pilot the projects, I kind of just relaxed. And before I know anything, somebody just reproduced it. But I was smart enough to create the automated hair loosening machine. So that one can do your 3 twist loose, your 2 twist braid. It can unloosen it, stuff like that. And so it's just a simple device. It's patented.
You call it simple, people will be there, wow, open their mouth ajar, wondering how you can, loosen your hair just by an automation, just by, putting a device in your hair, and it loosens the hair for you. It doesn't cut the hair, because women always complain that you cut my hair when you're loosening my hair. It doesn't do that.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you so much, David, for joining us today on the program Tech Today. It was really a delight. I've learned a lot, and I intend to also, brush up my skills and also upskill myself in terms of automation, because I believe strongly that automation is the future right now. People are already doing automation in other countries. They are like maybe 4, 5, 10 years ahead of us, but we are still grasping the knowledge here in Nigeria. So my friends are already doing it in Nigeria, and I hope to also, push myself. And I think people out there watching will be interested or also to, upskill themselves in one of the skills that you've mentioned, whether it's artificial intelligence or, pushing yourself to, be a better data analyst, or even just the front end and the back end, or any of those tech skills that that you're good at. It could just be something that this is what I'm good at, and you're going to push it forward. Yes, it's something I think you should pay more interest to. And it's good. You're going to only go, the sky will be your limit from there. Thank you so much, Mr. David, for joining us on the program. And yes, it's been Tech Today, and we're talking to David Momodu, who is an inventor and innovator, and he shared some of his ideas, his journey on being an inventor and innovator for us as a Nigerian. And we'll be looking more to talk to you maybe in the future, so have some other ideas from you so people can learn from. Yes, thank you for joining us on the program. I always tell you, whilst you're on this program, it's good for you to learn, to be very creative, very curious, because tech is the future. Tech is now, rather, it's not the future anymore. So it's good to also learn and be very creative, because if you don't learn, you snooze. So I'm always enjoying and encouraging you to learn a lot so that you become one of those persons that are driving tech in the future. My name is Momo Lawal, and join us next week for another episode of Tech Today. Bye for now.
Certainly the best.
Only God can do what no man can do. However, Nigerians can no longer pay for transport. However, Nigerians be want come out for house, make they go hustle for their daily bread. But the transport where they want to come out, it already work the daily bread for the house. When you calculate the transport where you want to come out, go hustle. Come reach where you want to go hustle, come back. But His Excellency, those new Cha-Cha CNG bus where you buy, where them dey? I know they government transport, when we want start to the user. You know say this kind of election time now in Nigeria still they happy. We don't see am say you don't buy sharp. Papa, how are you? Well, well done. Anyway, you do for Nigeria, they watch us for ITV, for Facebook, for YouTube, they watch us online. We must continue to thank you. This bus don't reach like 10 years now. Now the former governor. Abi, don't reach 10 years.
They go 60 years.
This bus don't go 16 years.
60 years.
Let me say we are due for new one.
Yes. Overdue.
That's why Akpakomiza don't go carry some come now. That one not they use, they use diesel and fuel. And a CNG. I been an electric bus. Our governor go buy also. Na CNG. No, not be 100 naira. For this election time, a free Mayala. No, for this election time, from now till January 16, now free. If they not carry us free, we'll change it for them. 300 naira. Who wants to die for the 300 naira? This is not there. This is not there. Anyone? His Excellency, the executive governor of Edo State. Whoa. I beg. Those new bus bring and come out. Make them go pack all this one. Abi?
Yes, people deserve it.
Other people deserve.
We deserve to have a new bus.
A new bus.
Yes. Yes.
Honestly, never enter street.
I bet may enter. May enter.
What they pay you for back?
If they pay me for, if I don't even get space to pull my leg. You know, see.
They should.
Prepare and add it to you.
No.
Waiting they have.
Comfort. Okay, this your son. No wonder.
I was the try for me.
Yes.
What you try for
My brother.
Okay, but the transport, say transport. This is not there.
No option this one.
This is not there.
Make out 200 naira.
From where to where?
From AVP to.
Oh my governor, you should be ready to lay good foundation. Earlier the better. Because in the nearest future, you become one of the leaders. So we are praying. Amen. I know say you don't buy, but bring them out.
I don't say they shine.
I know it's shining.
One night, night.
But hunger dey. Transportation, however, transportation is one of our biggest challenges in Nigeria. Even me as a worker, whether you work for private sector or government sector, you go see am say transportation don't take 90% of our salary. Now, hear what? May I tell you what they rain now? They say all the hustle they hustle now. They say na belle and toilet with the hustle I put.
Now so what if you save again?
Wetin concern you for what I talk so? Wetin concern you?
I make I help you finish am.
Say
Not be the country we dey.
say the work where they work. Na belle.
Na belle o, we no dey fit save again.
You mean say Nigerians now as a civil servant, you know fit save like 2 million naira. After you don't receive your salary, you don't fit get 2 million naira as balance. No, say as a Nigerian, you don't work, pay house rent, feed children, pay school fees, don't do it. You don't fit get 2 million naira as balance for your.
Let me say you be Yahoo boy now.
Don't be say you dey work.
When you want to see him?
We will increase your salary. This new bus, you go enjoy the AC.
Amen.
The new bus is coming.
Make the new bus quick on. And you bring it and make NEPA light day. No light, no light for
you go buy solar fan.
No.
All the old women don't buy solar fan. So they carry solar fan follow body now.
You go
buy inverter fridge. Go buy solar fridge. We don't go fit wait for NEPA again. We not fit wait for light. They want to kill us in this country. Everybody that they buy solar for us. Go borrow money from Lapo. And then they go. If to say not be public transport, for see Nigerians they trek. Even so many Nigerians now don't park their vehicle now. They don't park big men now. People don't park their motor.
Yes, now. Because of fuel. When it's too expensive.
Now this Iran American war na cause. Na cause.
We not get refinery.
No, now because of the American.
We not get refinery.
Donald Trump don't want Iran now.
We not get refinery.
You know you say we don't give out to Chinese company. You know yeah. Excellency. I beg bring out the new boss. I beg. Oh, we'll bring out the new boss. This is about 15 years. We don't to repair this motor. Bring out the new. Okay.
What did they happen?
Oh, your money. Oh.
What did they happen?
500 naira.
What did they happen?
500 naira. But you don't try to enter this, but we still make government may bring out the new boss.
We not increase. Wait,
that may be the answer. What did they happen?
See the way people they rush enter public bus.
What did they happen?
Say go carry. Say go carry.
Now, no, it's Excellency. As an area journalist, as an area journalist, this new bus, so make Edo people enjoy this bus till the end of this year. In fact, till January 16th.
Where this boy now?
Mother, you don't see all that small bus enter where you call the enter this one. You don't see small one enter. You don't take up. Why you call the enter this cheap one?
It's not cheap now.
It's cheap.
I go say cheap. It's not cheap. This one is supposed to be free bus. No. 300 is it cheap? It's not cheap. It's supposed to be free.
You know you say fuel don't go up.
Okay, why did they want us to vote for them? Is it not because of all this?
Now they tell an America you free from now till January 16th.
See me now, I want to pay. I want to pay.
Oh my governor!
I'm also a passenger. I stay in airport road. Just now you are in airport road. We do queue for it because it's cheaper. The other buses are carrying 600, 700. You know, in this economic now, we cannot afford to pay such amount. That's why we are trying to manage and queue for the bus. We queue. We are many.
The governor have bought new Shasha bus.
We thank him. Long may he reign.
That bus AC deal.
Yes, we knew.
That bus not be cho.
You mean it?
That bus not be diesel, not be
fuel.
You
mean it?
That bus now.
Bus for our governor.
It's not the hyper. Where are you going? Where are you going? Now you the enter goes Ghana or South Africa. I want to personally warn and tell you people the truth and nothing but the truth. Santana. Madam, how business? How you the family? People they complain. I'm not talking now. People they complain. Say that they sell Santana, whether if they buy a rich ass, you call risky. Government wants start to call the checker now. Government wants start to check the Santana now.
We trust what we do because we they eat from inside the Santana. We they eat from inside. So me now, I go do what's no good. I'll come they eat from inside. I eat from inside.
If I buy this Santana go us now, like how many days if you stay for us?
Like this one will be like this now. If you stay 1 week, nothing will do.
1 week?
Yes, nothing will do. He gets stash. The one where no get stash, 3 days he don't dey pere.
Okay, may I tell you now what people where they chop Santana they complain. They say why be say Santana the smell, the cassava scent, it is scent where. These some people just chop Santana and once you tell them say chop them. If you just open some, what did they cause them?
That one, another person go answer that one.
What did they cost her?
I don't know. My own on the smell.
Your own on the scent.
I said my own on the scent like that.
No, they smell like that. Because if you put them for water now, say you soak them, you quick wash them. Once, if you too take for ground, now you go get that odor.
Yeah.
But if you quick wash them, quick make them, you know, get that odor.
How much for that one? 100 naira.
200.
For one.
3,500.
And for restaurants, now they sell on 1,000, 1,500 though.
3,500 for this one, sir. 3,500 for that big one. This one 8,500. From 9.
Yeah, give me 500 naira. I get now me. Wait. Me and my 4 children, and my wife and dog. No, not that.
This one at 8, I'll give you.
8. And so restaurant they sell on 1,500 naira. No say for this country they know they shame again. No, they. Okay, inside the Santana 500 when I buy. Now inside the soup, pepper. Oh yeah.
Now 9 now give us.
500 naira. Let me say if I open restaurant now, how much I'll get for this one now? I buy how many? Give me 9 for 500. 200 naira. With soup. Thank you, eh? Thank you. So cut now. Thank you.
I greet you.
Don't chop today.
I never chop. Seriously.
You never chop today?
I never chop. Is this everywhere? It's CB. They don't pack everybody come outside. They say they won't do the market. So right now, they're hungry.
You know, like as government they do the market.
I like as they do this thing, but I don't know what they don't just evacuate everyone like that now.
It's a bit chop satana.
I sabi chop amo.
Like how many satana you fit chop?
If I say 4, I go finish 4. Only
4 satana.
Only 4. I will tell you.
Like which kind of soup you use?
I will use correct melon soup.
Simbangasi water leaf.
Yeah, water leaf. All of the portion is a market.
You like to the chop satana?
Too much.
You like how well?
Where?
I want dash you satana.
Okay. Hey.
You buy another hot. Open me, you know say na satana dash you.
I don't see.
Na 4.
I don't see. Ibabo.
I buy a dust now.
Okay. God will bless you. God will bless you.
Now 4, now 7, 6, 9 days side.
Okay, you want to do the menu too?
You fit chop up. Carry, they go. Okay. I just buy a dust now.
No problem.
Mama can say find somebody where you go dash. So as I ask you just now, you dey hungry, so you dey hungry.
No ma.
And I told you they tell me.
I didn't tell you so. Madam, no concern if soup no day.
No concern you. Enjoy. Go enjoy the satana. Go enjoy the satana.
I hear you.
Enjoy the satana.
I hear you.
May I help you with something?
Yes.
Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from your Nalega to check on Gulf Road. You know Lily Hotel?
Where you they go?
I dey go Ekenwa Road.
And you not get transport fare?
I don't get transport fares. Even though I get mercy here, even though I never take am.
I just surprised when you come meet me. Just surprised you come meet me. See.
And I God say make I meet you, sir. Na God do am. I know say you must give me something. your work, they will promote you more. We have been hearing of you for inside radio, and they will promote you more. God bless you.
Enjoy. I don't suffer, not be small. On Posse, I get sense. Poverty no good at all. Hey, now I make I join this business. No, you know what this man? This is not my Chinese, that Nigerian Chinese guy. This is the only Benin man they speak Chinese. You see, China make parable last 2 weeks. He said Chaola. Chaola. You know the meaning? They said they don't already buy our property finish for Nigeria. Very soon, if you know less China, you know get where you see work. Only talk to Chinese. They tell you so. What they tell you so? Very soon, we'll be a second slave to China if we not take time. You shall talk to us how the situation of the country. For the situation of the country. Under Kuku Ching in Gondo. The more you look, the more you see, not be less again. The more you look, the more you see. What it concern you concern hammer? I just show my love. We'll see. I just not the adjustment of Aru again. Not the adjustment. Either you agree or you no agree. They borrow money, you say you know there. Anything concerning Nigeria, na stand that they stop. I gotta do what go favor you. Issue. What's on your belly that they come out to? Nigeria know you affect you at all. Dominica, tell me no Domema. Salo Praga, tell me no Domema. I don't they go. Okay. How do you also know? Bro, I don't get your number. Give my number. You get many things. I didn't find you for long. I beg. I beg you. Number 0080 55 40 73 59. Help me tell Nigerians make we be our brother's keeper. Chinese. No be so we not like to be our brother keeper. Unless our gospels don't spoil. To be a brother's keeper nowadays, your brother when you say you want being a keeper, he don't remove gospel come out for your back. So your code according to your materials, your size no dey market. As people they watch us now, they feel say you know they okay.
Waiting they happen.
Now waiting they happen. Now waiting they happen.
We must continue to thank God for our life. I sincerely sympathize with the families of people who be said they don't die or timely deaths don't kill so many innocent Nigerians. May their soul rest in peace. However, Nigerians they call on the federal government of Nigeria. Make them sharply. Nigerians they call on the Nigerian army. Nigerians they call on the Nigerian police. Nigerians they call on all the security apparatus for Nigeria. Make them wake up, because Nigerians are not smiling because of the way things can happen now for this our country. However, we must continue.
Waiting they happen.
Agree to. Money no they come from heaven. Do better till money go come. Now true order they tell you so. Agree to now. Mommy, how are you? Everybody they holla. Good morning. Why una block the road? Why una block the road? Why una block the road?
Why we not go block the road? Why police decided to kill our members? The one way hungry no kill. Now police come to kill them. Why we not go block road? Opera they suffer, we keke they suffer. Now police they kill them now.
What happen?
Nothing happen.
Wait, una block the road, abi una park the keke?
We block the road. Oh. We need justice.
You did that what happen?
Oh, not in a night it happen. But eyewitness they say see what happen.
Now police station from the commissioner of police and they come from so. I see your people that they go outside. But they say we can't really investigate the matter.
Okay.
The truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Waiting happen. The person die, be still alive.
He die.
The keke rider don't die.
Yes.
Waiting happen.
Now one policeman yesterday night around 9 to 10 for Osumbolen. That keke rider, he won't go carry a wife with his family for where he is same market for Osumbolen. The man park. According to people who did deal, they say the man park. So now the policeman, the worker they come. Now he can with the leg go, you know carry motor, you know carry bike. Now leg they use you. Now he can say the man park for center of road. Now the man say how I park for center of road where barrow they pass, we barrow they pass there. Now from there, now he can tell us say make a park where. Now he say you don't already park where. See walk away the walk where they there. Now from there they can change where. Now he come out the tear gas. I can spray for nose before you know the man fell down. Before people come they shout make a come help. Before one of our brother come run go there, the man already give up before they all can go hospital. No still.
Now yeah, in for the impact with this the keke rider.
Yes.
When na chairman for na park sef.
All of them go straight.
No, what did this man talk so na true? I've been what do you hear or what do you see?
Na true be that, na true. And that man always they do am. They drink akai. Sometimes he go come here. He go enter drop. The policeman. He go enter drop. He carry reach your house for Basua. He carry 500 give you. If you see he talk too much, he go bring gun. Sometimes na dagger. He go say if you go anywhere. Now police.
Ogida police station.
No, they say I want to.
But what do police officer can do for this side? They stay for this side.
Yes. And he used to enter our keke when he's going. So he used to enter here whenever he's going back home. So he usually trek when coming back. So I was so surprised to see the man decide to.
But the police officer they drink.
They drink.
Our new IG said they don't want to see any police officer when they drink.
This one always they drink day and night. They always like go man.
He's even drunk yesterday night.
Now we be say your colleague don't die now. What do you want make government do now?
We want justice.
Justice. Make them sack the police officer or with justice. The dead body not go rise again.
Because
no, the dead body not go rise again.
You go rise, but we want justice from the government.
Which kind of justice?
Sometimes we dey hear public execution for this kind of matter. We no want may they put the person for sale later they will go and see him for street. We don't want it that way. Make government do the needful and warn the police say make they stop their brutality. It's no good. We don't like it. They don't treat us well, but police supposed to be our friend. But the way the police they treat masses is as if we are enemy to them. So we don't want that.
Nigerian police officers are supposed to protect life.
They're supposed to be our
you know hear the way they talk the story, how it happen.
I hear everything. I hear how it happen. Like I was saying, Nigeria police officer supposed to protect life
and property.
Not to the destroy, not to the key. You understand? So I dey beg those state government, make them, even all these officers, if not to go carry them, go find out whether most of them no go training at all.
Okay, make we do the other flip side. Wait, make I just ask people because we don't see them say Nigerian police now they be the nearest security officer to protect us. Yes. But what do you not like for police? What they do?
Number one, the brutality and oppression. The brutality of police is too much.
If you not give the 200.
You understand? Just like yesterday when I was going to Saple Road, police blocked me close to that what do you call that roundabout. Yes, No, not 5 Junction. That roundabout where for Sapler Road, yes. He was saying this is what do you call Salah. I must settle and for Salah, saying we want to go Salah. Now tell us, what is me? I'm a Christian. I know that if I settle you, who will settle my own?
That's why you don't like police.
Not be say why. That's why I don't like police.
Your children join police.
No.
Okay. Why you don't like police?
Okay.
What you don't like for police?
I know talk say I don't like police. Police not our friend, and they are there to protect life and property. What I don't like about them, that operation, forcing people to collect money, because it's happened to me in this road by August Street Junction. When the man they are red block there, as I drive my keke reach there, the next thing police say, man, I give her money. I say, okay, I no get money.
If you get opportunity to join police, you join.
Okay, I know sure they go join. The way they see the police, the way they see, I know sure they go.
What you not like for police?
Police.
What I got it. They must give her money.
Oga, you see, police they too oppress people. They know they do their work, and many of them they don't go training. Then pass back, put them. Not all of them search them, sir. They are not going to training. Then pass back, enter. That's why the operation is too much for the next Nigeria.
Make your child.
God forbid. Go do waiting.
Times our Nigerian police need better reform. This guy now, if I ask a question now, what you not like about police? Just the year what you want to talk. Police are your friend now.
No, not be nowadays. Now before. Me I dey come for somewhere like this now. Back where I be fly before I enter bus the Corning Road. I dey come for Sapele. So they first day for there in the evening. This morning they still dey there. As they say, I wear clothes, I dey dress well.
You do this guy.
One or two things.
Everything.
So I just call the notice. They can't stop my bike. So other bikes they pass where girls sit down, where women sit down. They just stop my bike, collect the bike man key. They start to search me. They say search yourself. I say, officer, see my back. Now power bank dey inside and other things. He say open now. I be the craze. All these 1 or 2 things. So Sapele for Idogbo side. Not on Idogbo. I don't forget the street. So I was like, okay. Man, no go outrash the maid. They don't go say I no talk when I make a converse.
But anytime you see police, you dey fear.
Why I go fear? I don't carry any exhibit or anything.
But they suspect you.
They always suspect. They try to misunderstand me. So 1 or 2 things. So we just need to just remain calm.
But you like join police.
If my friend Papa be police, I go avoid that person.
Or you join EFCC.
I not there anyone.
Or DSS.
Not all of them are one.
Or vigilante.
All of them are one.
Waiting they happen soon.
Now waiting they happen. Now waiting they happen. Now waiting they happen.
Waiting they happen.
ITV, certainly the best.
I tell you, isn't it always a delight to be back here doing what we love to do best, namely come here to talk about some of those topical issues that affect us in the society. Well, it's another lovely and beautiful episode of Flipside and Independence Television, reaching you live from the city of Benin. Now, for starters, Flipside is a unique socio-cultural show that pinpoints certain issues in the society that deserve to be examined. So we bring it on the show and we try to make sense of it. My name is Harry Igboje, and it's always a pleasure to have you join me on the show. Now today we're discussing something really interesting, something that has to do with research. You know, a lot of times we hear the term research. We, talk about the need to research, in order to be able to solve certain problems. So today we're going to be throwing more light on the concept of research. The last time we were here, we talked about globalization and, the role of Nigeria in the scheme of things. But today we're going to be, beaming our searchlight basically on the term research. Research as a catalyst for development. Now, when we talk of development, we're going way beyond just personal development, okay? We're actually taking a look at national development, all right? So how does research help in, national development? Now, to do this with me are two amazing gentlemen. They are experts in their fields, and of course, they are passionate about national development as a whole. To my far left is someone who happens to be a public affairs analyst, as well as a clergyman. He goes by the name of Mr. Kingsley, or should I say Pastor Kingsley Ikeke. It's good to have you on the show, sir.
Good to be here.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Good to be here. Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And of course, seated next to Mr. Kingsley is someone that I love to call the directorate himself. He goes by the name of Deacon Matthew Ehiobo. He is an entrepreneur and also a public affairs analyst. In fact, he has a whole plethora of titles, but let me just stop at introducing him.
To God be the glory.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Edo State, and good afternoon, Nigeria. It's a pleasure to be here.
It is indeed a pleasure to have you. Now, like I said, the last time we were here, we talked about Nigeria in the scheme of things as far as globalization is concerned. And today, I would like us to, pinpoint research as a catalyst for development, or for national development, basically. So, if you were asked to, define or describe research, how would you define it? Let me begin with you, Kingsley.
All right. Thank you very much, Harry. Research, from the word itself, actually means investigation, a systematic inquiry or investigation over a particular idea or a matter or a problem which you are trying to look for solution to.
Okay.
Research has a wide range of implications, So
it's not just a one-sided conversation.
The first thing that actually engineers a research is that there's an issue, either a contentious issue,
okay,
or there's a problem that needs resolution.
Okay.
And people are now encouraged to find, is there no solution to this problem? It could be health, it could be technical, it could be political, it could be anything. But you now have to start doing research, trying to do findings or trying to investigate, gather data and try to analyze the data to see if there are any way that particular issue is resolved. Because the first thing that comes to your mind is an idea. But see, an idea is visual. It's like a fiction. It's not realistic. But you now have to bring the necessary tools.
Abstract.
It's abstract. So you need necessary tools to see if that idea can be tangible, if it can be brought to reality.
Okay.
Most of what we see today were just ideas in the minds of the creators or the inventors. They were not tangible. Even the one that brought the light, if you had read the story, several times he attempted to get the light bulb and he didn't succeed. Okay, but eventually he got it. It's an idea that came to him. Now he needs to go to research, either the laboratory, the workshop, or whichever area is of interest to him, and begin to investigate. And when he does that, in the course of investigating, he generates data or parameters, which are now subject to analysis. After analysis, you now get results. The results are now interpreted.
So there are different stages.
Yeah, there are different stages of research. Yeah,
and then results.
Data first, analyze your data.
Okay.
Then your result comes out. Then you now interpret the results. These are the results. These are the findings from your research.
Okay.
And sometimes researches are not always positive. You may come up with a concept, and you're researching it, At the end, you didn't get the result you anticipated.
Okay.
It's so-called expected result. And sometimes you don't get it. It doesn't mean that concept is wrong or is not true. It just means that you just found a way it will not work. So you try other methods, so-called methodology. Maybe the method you have adopted, had not worked for this particular concept. So you try other methods, you do findings, you do what called literature review, look at whether persons have worked on these areas before, what were their findings, what were their limitations, and how can I work on their findings. Because when you're done with your research, local recommendation, sometimes it not necessarily mean that you have made a breakthrough, but you have made some information that are valuable. So even if you failed in the course of your research, whoever is studying your work will know that he went this route, he didn't succeed. He now adopts a different route
not to achieve it.
Exactly. He now adopts a different route, trying to mitigate that particular problem. So that is research. But if you research and development, you cannot separate the two of them. In fact, the fact that we're here and we are on live, we're on air, is pure research. People did that. Some decades, let me just say about 2.5 decades ago, talking about handsets, about the year 2000, I think just came out then. When I saw it in Lagos, I thought it was a fiction because it didn't make any sense. I was used to this green, and sometimes only one person will have it in the whole community. And someone was just using one of those small phones and I said it was communicating. Because I knew this was telephone wire, there's NITEL, you have to do tracing and stuff like that. Sometimes you have to go and queue at NITEL. And if you're fortunate to have a neighbor that has the ringing, bling, the entire people will queue, and you'll be very careful not to offend that neighbor because we're expecting call from the US. When for example with 310, these are product of research. And I was surprised when I go from there, we're not talking about Android phone. You can speak on live, videos. And
would you call that an evolution?
It's both evolution and it's a product of research. Yes, when you're with the first product, it's just to communicate. Somebody sat down. Can we not get this thing to the point where we can see who we are talking to? Then we start working on it, And before you know, the issue of social media came in. Can we not have a group where all of us can be live?
Without necessarily being
physically present in a meeting. Before you have to do a lot of journeying, flight. Sometimes you miss your flight, you miss the meeting, you miss the contract. But you can do that online. You can sign online. Zoom. You can reach an agreement on contract online. You can help yourself not to make a journey that is not needed because of the advent of research. So I think it has done a lot to the society.
Amazing. Amazing. That was a very brilliant start to the conversation, and I knew I had the right person on board. Now, Mr. Matthew.
Yes.
Do you have a different perspective, or you'd like to toe the same line?
You see, research is built on guided principles. So there is no deviation or alternative to what you just said, because it's a systematic methodology that is guided by principles. Even that, though the first attempt you've made on a certain issue or an idea maybe didn't work, does not mean that it was a failure. You understand? So like it's a theory that other people will come and research on, build hypotheses on, and come up with conclusions. So that will now become a principle, a law in inventing new ways of solving problems. It's just about solving problems. In fact, God is the first researcher. You understand? We are told that in the beginning God created heaven and earth, and it was without form of word. Then the Spirit moved, begin to search the scope and see what to do. Then the word came. Then you begin to see changes.
So that was a form of research.
It's not just a form, it is
research
itself. You understand? Like somebody was arguing in the morning that kidnapping is becoming like a business. So don't interject. It's not like it has become the way what we are seeing. So
God was the pioneer researcher.
In fact, that is how creativity came about. And you cannot take away innovation, creativity out of research and development. And we are going to be looking it down the line and see how Nigeria, can help it. What has been the problem, you understand? Because without being guided in your investment, without being guided in your economic principles, you just see over and over, you will be circumnavigating, you will be parabolating, you know, moving in circles without making headway, and that will make us not go anywhere.
All right. Now, you just made mention of Nigeria, you know, within the scope of this conversation.
Yeah.
So, do you think Nigeria is lacking in terms of proper research?
My brother, since we gained independence in 1960, you know, our colonial master left us, you know, gave us freedom, but built an exploitative institution, you know, to keep making our resources from us. While we were focusing on building strong individuals, there was a system in place to exploit us, and we didn't look inward.
Would you say that system was deliberate?
It is deliberate.
It was just accidental.
Not accidental, my brother. It was deliberate of our colonial master. But the illiteracy that persists in the African setting did not allow us look inward. Whether we call it illiteracy or it was just that we were not deliberate to develop our resources. I don't know. Okay. You understand? Because you can't take away development out of the research we are talking about. Right. You know, the exploitative tendency or the system that was built to make from us was such that there was a prosy of this colonial master even from among us. And we were not deliberate to say, let us free ourselves from this exploitative tendency. What am I saying? Now we are talking about research, and
just before you know, give us details as to what you're saying, I'd like us to go on this very break. In case you're just joining us, it is Flipside on Independent Television, and today we're talking about research as a catalyst for development. We shall be going on this break now. The program continues afterwards. Please stay tuned. All right, it's great to have you back. It's still Flipside on Independent Television. I'm Mr. Matthew.
Yes.
Yeah, before we went to that break, you were...
You know, before 1960, there was this global outreach of independence, nations of Africa seeking independence from colonial master. And, you know, the white men, they came together, the thoughts of it, okay, let us give these people independence. And one by one, you know, 1960, thereabouts, you know, Nigeria and other African nations were given independence. But these people came together, you know, to build the institution, to keep the exploitation on. It was in 1967, you know, the World Intellectual Property Organization were organized in Sweden, you know, to build a system to investigate, you know, of the Global Innovation Index, to measure countries by their research and development, which is developed and which is not developed. And it came to it that Nigeria, you know, having gained independence, the heads of states that were, you know, put in place altogether, you know, were creating that enabling environment for the colonial master to take our resources not refined, so that they can go and refine it elsewhere and sell the finished product to us. And that is what has kept Nigeria and even other African countries, you know, the perpetual state that they are now. You know, what are we saying? The situation or system that does not allow you to develop your natural resources is exploitative. And that is what World Intellectual Property Organization, UNESCO, even the IMF, name it, you know, they've come to institute on Africa and especially Nigeria, you know, to keep us, you know, in the perpetual poverty that we have found ourselves. Okay. You know, because them are giving us that template for us to keep borrowing, depend on palliative, depend on aid, without developing our natural resources has not helped us. Okay. And that is why the research and development of Nigeria has been backward. Now there is a global standard of about 1% to 1.15% of your gross domestic product on research, you know, for you to measure what your output of creativity should be and the evidence base of productivity. Okay. But Nigeria is far below, even is around 0.2%. You know, that has not helped us all these years.
That's actually a very sorry state.
It's a very sorry, but you look at the nation, you know, the population, you see some heavy individuals, great individuals, but it has not translated to the system of, you know, building principles to grow your economy, and that has been the problem we are facing as a nation.
Indeed, it has been a problem. I would like you to respond to that, Mr. Kingsley. Do you have anything to say in that regard? Is it true that our leaders, should I say, connived? Because that's basically what I can make from what he said, that our leaders of old, especially during the pre-colonial times, connived with the colonial powers to exploit us. You have anything to say in that regard?
Well, you know, initially he was talking about what the whites have done to us.
Yeah.
You know, I've always said this, that I will not give the white that credit 100% no. You see, the devil is to attack you. He looks at two things: your area of strength and your area of weakness. Prior to their exit, even while they were here, we also had men. We had the old Benin Kingdom, we had the Oyo Empire. They were men.
Just like
they were warlords, who were at the peak, and they were people at the very grassroots who were at the receiving end. It has always been like that. So what they did was they found that we have this tendency to have slaves. In fact, we were selling ourselves to them when they didn't have that control over our territory. The black man would betray the other black man. So they saw this weakness. And they worked on it. They built a curriculum on it.
The tendency to betray one another.
To want to stand out while your brother died. It doesn't really matter who dies. Just for me, myself, and I, let's look and die. There's no compassion, no sympathy, as it were. It has been like that from time immemorial.
No communal mindset, I guess.
Exactly. We've always had strong men. And we're not trying to practice a culture that is not ours, using the same one we had. So they saw what we had, and they brought something that they had to ensure that what we had aligns, and we remain dependent on them. Okay, after all these years they've left us, why are we still like this? It was when they mentioned the GDP now. You know, that's why I cry for Nigeria when we say we are giants. We are giants is 0.28 or so, or about to the GDP. Why have countries like Ghana is even ahead of us?
I guess the giant status that some persons are quick to make reference to has to do with our population, right?
No. You see, when you say you are a giant, it should not be by size. You know, you don't defeat the enemy by size. You defeat him by intelligence. We have passed that stage. We are not in Goliath stage, where big men will just come out with their chest and face bullets. Is it done anywhere? How did the Benin Kingdom lose the war when the white men came? It was superior technology. They had the men, they had warlords, people like the Asoros, they had men that were renowned fighters, but they were working with crude implements, and probably depending on their whatever they were, other stuff they were depending on. But the white man came with a superior technology. And it came from the product of research. They've done their research. They saw that technically they were better than us, and they wanted to give us a trade that was not balanced, and there was a revolt,
an unfair
trade alliance. And you see the conflict, and they came and took over the entire empire and deported the Oba. It's because they had the technical know-how. You know how small the British Empire, the British Kingdom is, to be controlling the vast region that it was controlling. Well, at the time, it was controlling China and India. They were dependent on their technical know-how. And they now use a few of us here based on the fact that I said, if the devil wants to attack you, two things he checks for. He looks at your weakness. He looks at your strength. You know, when the same woman ate the forbidden fruit, whether it's apple or not, we're not told. I believe she must be passing through that place and looking at that fruit. There must be something about this fruit that they asked me not to touch. And one day was also passing against it and said, come. It's like, we like this thing. Let me give you some more gist. That's how they fall. When you want to get a man, you find out where is his area of weakness. And when you are attacking from that region, some men are vulnerable to money, some men are not for sale.
True.
But if you can't use money to get them, you now sell women. You know, when they went to check whether David was still very viable, still a man of valor, they brought a damsel, a very young damsel.
At his old age.
And they gave him the girl, and he didn't touch the girl. He said, this guy is finished. He could only see woman and move his eyes. So what we suffered is a product of our weaknesses. You see, when a man wants to get better, he looks at his areas of weaknesses and begin to fight it. I am deficient in this area and deploy resources to ensure that he's better. You know, if he leaves that place vulnerable, that becomes the place where he's easily accessible. Where he will fall from, he may be a giant.
More like his Achilles heel.
Yes, that is his problem. That what you feel the Trojan horse. The heels. He was a warrior, but he had a problem, and they knew it, and they got him from that point. It has always been like that. So our problem had remained because we had a weakness we have not dealt with even till date. It's not even a product of lack of research. Research is actually going on, but who implements it? You'll be shocked some of the best brains when they come up with certain ideas. Before they can say Jack and Jig, they are taken away. Because those that value what we have, we pick them from us, amongst us. You know, Nigerians will still live here and go and play ball in Angola, go and play ball in South Africa. Why? The pay is better. Those days when you see the Nigerian League, Bender Insurance, Bender United is playing. Come and see Ogbe Stadium. Everywhere is jammed. People are been waiting for 15 minutes to go to enter free. They are outside. Hey, bro, who score? But go there now. No use anybody. Because as we begin to advance, as our values begin to drop, gets worse by the day, we don't value what we have, and you know it's not spreading. It's affecting everything. But when we start valuing research, we will grow faster because you always buy what you don't have. That's the truth. And what you don't know, you always pay for it.
Okay. All right. Practically speaking, what societal problems do you think are peculiar to Africa that research could help solve?
Like I said, you see, the flight of our foreign, you know, Africa is the most endowed when it comes to natural resources. And like he said, I think there's one in Proverbs: the man that sells his skill raw is not wise.
Yes.
As long as those resources, lithium, like I did say one time here, I said when you see this lingering banditry and whatever is in the north, it's not purely religious. There are minerals being exploited.
But there always seems to be given a religious...
Whatever they want to give, they might say so many of their songs that have been arrested in the south here, exploited without license. And it keeps going on like that. I think what we should be doing, for instance, I'm a politician and I want to contest. What evaluation have you done on the grassroots to know the problems that are plaguing the people before you contest? And that in
itself could be research as well.
Yes. I was one of the persons that went to the field, even to the remote areas when MCO was contesting. We were asked to go and find out people's opinion, people's challenges. There were certain problems that we highlighted. We started going from house in remote areas. Then you now put those data together. You now know what is the problem in this region, in this community. What can I do to remedy
that
it?
Require urgent
attention. For instance, now one of the major crises we are facing. Forget about research, my brother. Insecurity is a problem, a major problem. If people are coming out with new concepts, even in agriculture, whatever, where do you implement them? Now, if I were in leadership, for instance, how do I ensure that people can go to farm? People can cultivate hybrid products. Why not the money used for Jamboree and for all those? Why not get youth? Say, for instance, I was doing a calculation before I came in here. Say $1 billion deployed in this direction to employ over a million. Is it a million or about? I don't know. Thereabout youths. They'll be paid about 125,000 per month. All the forests, all the areas where minerals are sited, you have men manning those areas. I heard about the forest guide issue my parents had to propose. Because if you don't guard your resources, people can, you know, there's poverty already because nobody can go to farm. Even when you have research to do, there are some research that are environmental based. How do you do them when place is not even secured? Then once those places are secured, people are farming, there is food, they can think straight. They can come up with new concepts. They can begin to develop and begin to get better because, you see, Nigeria has one of the youngest population. I don't know why we are still suffering. And they are unemployed. I heard recently they asked for a $5 billion loan approved already by the presidency. And you have so many people outside. Okay, the kidnapping issue and bad, some of them are poverty related, in case you're not aware. No, those people that are recruited, if you hear the piecemeal or the peanuts they are giving to them and give them ammunition, they are actually working. I had a friend that was kidnapped once and they were so angry that they didn't pay the ransom on time. What was the argument? That they have a target. How can you tell me you have a target? Human beings, you take them in custody and somebody somewhere just sponsoring you that you have a target to meet.
That's really
luckily those guys were released and they were saved, but we had to pay.
It's really ridiculous.
All right, I can tell you still have a lot more to say in that regard, but we have to go on this very important break. It's still Flipside on Independent Television, and we're discussing research as a catalyst for development. We shall be right back. Please stay tuned. All right, many thanks for rejoining us. I still have Mr. Kingsley KK and, of course, Mr. Deacon Matthew Ehiobo. Yeah, you were actually leading us on the train of thought before we went on that break, Mr. Kingsley.
Right. I will say that the current environment does not really promote research. And even when you have research's findings coming out, the level of...
What is it about the environment that doesn't encourage
like
research?
we talked about in secret just now. There's also the issue of power.
Okay.
We don't have power. Even till now, we don't have sufficient power, because for every research you need light to a large extent. For your, even with industries, you need light. We heard of Michelin. There's the Michelin outlet that was in Edo State before, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around Udo. Yeah. That has moved. Why? Power issues. So there are issues that even makes your research not to come out right. Even when it comes out right, there are also issues that will not allow implementation. For instance, I have a friend in Brazil who did his PhD in Brazil. There's a way they function. You know, the industry has an understanding with research institute, universities or polytechnics. They have their problem. We call it problem statement or statement problem, whatever you want to call it. Now, those problems, they let the school know these are problems in this industry, and they send funding in that direction. People now put in their brains trying to resolve that problem. So as to ensure that when that industry comes out, it comes out with a better product, probably even a cheaper product that also helps the society. But we don't have that. What we have actually is a tertiary education, is a third fund by the federal government, which is a percentage from some big companies in Nigeria. But it's still very minimal compared to the standard he mentioned of between 1.7 to about 2.0. Yes. And we don't have that. What we have is about 0.2 something, which is still very inadequate in terms of running researches. Because prior to this time, I know there was a time when India came and they were running what called Tata. We were laughing at them. In fact, if you flip back some few decades back, Indians were teaching in secondary schools in Nigeria. Go and find out. You don't see any of them now. They've deployed their population into high-tech. They are now one of the best software programmers in the world. They decide to go back because we are not doing much. There was a time Ghanaians were here, and yet the word Ghana must go. When you see Ghana, Ghana must go. It was a mockery statement, yes, that they were here to take our resources. See what's happening to us in South Africa. They are sending us back. Is it not because we have refused to use our resources well? That's why we are being embarrassed everywhere we find ourselves. What I'm trying to say is that I don't want to heap the problems on the white men, because I feel they've done their bit, they are gone. We should sit down. This is our country. The resources are they are ours. Can we not make it better? You know, somebody was making a very funny statement when they said, when Nigerians are alive, they go abroad to take, buy and enjoy themselves. When they are dead, they now bring the dead body to come and bury them in Africa. So Nigeria is a burial ground. It's an insult. It is indeed. It's an insult. So I feel that politically we should investigate. Okay. Before you say I'm going to go into politics, how many megawatts are you giving us? We are still running from below 6,000 megawatts. A country of this magnitude is a disgrace. Well, I actually felt touched when you made mention of the fact that it's an insult, and I hope that our leaders feel insulted when statements like this are made and they are provoked into moving in the right direction. Now, I would like to ask you this, Deacon Matthew. Yeah. Why do you think developed nations invest heavily, in research and development? Yes,
like we introduced, research is a catalyst for development. Every meaningful individual, state or nation, see it as indispensable, you understand, to invest in research and development. More so, there is a global benchmark of between 1 to 2% of your gross domestic product on research and development. But I'm afraid that even our institution of higher learning, is just like a package of producing dependencies you know, or those that would depend on the system to survive, not building the system. Because every year we turn out graduates from the universities, you know, to begin seek job instead of creating one. You understand? How many can our companies, can the government employ of our graduates? You know, without building that enabling environment. When you talk about World Intellectual Property Organization, UNESCO, all these international bodies, they look at your input for innovation and the evidence base of your output, you know, to measure your growth, your development in your economy. And that is it. Nigeria is not just up to half of the required demand. We are even behind South Africa. Why will South Africa not drive? Do they have the population? We are behind Egypt. Why would they not mess up in the international community? I appreciate the Senate. Just recently, they made the move to ban textile materials, you know, being imported. You know, that is how it's supposed to be.
Some already saying that might not even see the light of day after all.
Because it is politicized. Because it is always on politics to gain access to power and make yourself comfortable, which is supposed not to be. You understand? We need to build the system. Look at how to strengthen the textile industry, how to strengthen the leatherworks industry, how to strengthen the creative industry, even the technology we are talking about. A small Britain conquering nations in Africa and exploiting their resources. Why? Because of technology. So we need to build on our capacity. And that is what research and development does. To build on you see, a fool or somebody that is bound to fail, see what you invest in research and development as a waste. You understand? Because maybe for the first year. And why our governors, our presidents, you know, without missing way, why they are afraid of research and development? Because for them to pull back their returns, you know, it may not be within that 4 years, and they are scared of it. I've made mention time without number. You see that Okada Junction is always there's always hold up because of trailers and all of that. And we have vast now. Why will it take the state government, you know, to build trailer park and make money and develop that?
Just to decongest that.
Decongest it. At the time it became a kidnapping strategy. They would just connect with the trailer driver, you know, to just veer off the road and block the road. You see a whole lot of hold up. People just come from the bush. I narrowly escaped kidnapping last year on that Aziz. They just, as we were passing, they came, they started shooting. We were just looking at them, you know, intercepting vehicles on that Aziz. Why will it take the state government to, even if there are people that own those property, buy them off, compensate them? You know, that will create massive revenue stream for the government.
Quite take much research to achieve that.
You tell me. You understand? And that is on that Ugbowo Aziz. We have so many. I salute his courage, you know, to build flyover and all of that. You know, but we need more of infrastructural development, if you ask me.
Including the flyover.
Including the flyover, a lot of innovation. Right. And I also salute the police state command, you know, of this recent achievement they made in, you know, cracking down on those using internet, you know, to create panic. But even as they are doing that, what will it take the federal government, you know, to do the same? People are making live video, you know, maiming, kidnapping, then you cannot get them. But somebody who just did something and you are able to get, which is good. So we should nationalize.
We should replicate the same energy towards,
you know, in our nation, not just of the state, which is good. I salute the courage of the state and all of that. So we should see research, investment on research and development as important and a priority.
All right.
Not minding, you know, within the political scope for you to maybe mop up or gain your return on investment, because it takes long time. It's not just within 4 years. There are some investment that will take up to 10 years. You know, they are the intellectuals.
All right.
You know, they will be in the room,
field,
you know, creating, you know, coming up with ideas. Don't think that they are useless.
Okay.
Because they are the driver of the next generation of that nation's progress, of economic growth, of economic development. You see, we are just navigating, parabolating, going forward. We take one step forward, we take some 10 steps backward. And that is how it has always been, especially in the area of insecurity, in the area of our creative industry, in the area of intellectual property content.
So in a nutshell, you're saying that our government should invest more.
My brother,
in research.
I'm not just, they should know, they're supposed to know. They should be the one carrying us along, not just we now tell. If we tell them now, they appreciate it, to God be the glory, but it is very, very slow.
We can only be optimistic that even as we are speaking right now, they are paying attention.
I pray, and it's our great desire.
They are preparing to do the needful. Thank you very much, Deacon Matthew. All right, Mr. Kingsley, you are in the educational sector, right? And I'm sure you've seen a lot of progress made so far in that particular area. What do you think, or how do you think research can improve the quality of education in any country? Using Nigeria as a case study, of course.
Okay, thank you very much. I think our major challenge has been implementation. Even at the tertiary level, there are some innovations that have been proposed, or some that had come to acceptable level. There was a time I heard, I think University of Benin, something on sickle cell or something like that. We were trying to get a center because of a finding. There was one of my chief executive that did something on this premature abortion. He has a patent. Professor Fallow, he has a patent. It's in the University of Benin too. Okay. So, but the problem is this: you have an idea that is globally recognized, then it cannot be indigenized as it brought into play in your own constituency. Okay. That is where the problem is, because we don't appreciate talent. So even when somebody has a brilliant idea, who sponsors it? You can be a genius in terms of thinking. But when, like I said, when funding becomes a challenge, then you are back to square one. You cannot, there's a vision, but there's no provision.
But whose primary responsibility is it to fund it?
It's dual. It's dual. One is the government, the other one is, like I said, is the industry. Okay. The government, like what happened in the early 80s, late 70s, like I did say once here, we had assembly plants for Projo. Not just that. It was mandatory. If you're conversant what happened then, all government vehicles were 504, 505. Okay. That is you don't buy any other brand.
Those were like official vehicles.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now we also have same running. Currently, we have about 2 or 3 of them that are doing well. Okay. Can they not come up with policy? We have the what called the local content or whatever. It's in the constitution. Okay. But the implementation are the issues. We still prefer to go outside and bring a more advanced product. You can't do it that way. You see, you appreciate where God has taken you through. Okay. Then you believe God to get to where they are going to. Some 40, 50, or let me just say, I'm not too certain, 50 years ago, you can't be comparing China with the United States of America. No. But currently, even the US, they are scared of the Chinese. They have the population, they have the intelligence, they have the technical know-how.
Wow.
If virtually all brands of vehicles, the time I spent with them last year, a couple of weeks there, Honda vehicles, Toyota vehicles, they have rights to reproduce them. Not just say US made. There is China made of almost everything you are saying. Wow. If this is your native, if you're not very careful, they have a Chinese made version. Wow. And when you see the Chinese made version, you may not really prefer. That's how they have appreciated their work. Okay. I think we should come to a point where we value what we have. Like my brother here who is an entrepreneur in the leather work. The shoe is putting on very, very beautiful.
Self-made.
Yeah, self-made, and it can sell anywhere in any country.
Hold that thought, Mr. Kingsley. I actually like where you're going with this, because this is basically where we need to start preferring solutions to the problems. Yes. We could go on and on talking about the problems all day without being able to come up with tangible solutions to them. But I think this is the part where we need to start examining ways we can actually solve the problem. But that will be right after this break. Please stay tuned.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
All right, welcome back. It's Flipside on Independent Television, and this is the final lap of the conversation. Now, like I said before we went on that break, I think it's high time we started, looking at solutions to the problem. So what do you think the government of the day can do better to, improve on research that could, help develop the society? Mr. Kingsley.
Okay, thank you very much. I was mentioning my friend here.
Yes.
The last time we came, he was on suit. So when we were going back, I said, you are not completely patronizing us. So when he came today, he told me, he said, I'm on native. I said, wonderful. From head to toe, you can tell that he's making the economy to grow. Instead of going to get a foreign suit from America or wherever you're getting them from, and sending our monies there, let it be here. It will be benefit to us. And the government on their own, it's encouragement. You see, if I am doing something, I've heard of this, is it Brighton, whatever, I heard about him a lot.
Okay.
It's into electronics. If there are people who are good amongst you, government should create platform for them to be visible, to be how do I put it? They should see the reward of their intelligence.
Ingenuity.
And what we do here is very bad. When they are doing Nigeria Idol or the Big Brother Nigeria, you see 100 million, 50 million for first winner or whatever, runner up 20 million. When they are doing award for the best mathematician, you see 50,000 and one laptop. That shows you where your priority is.
Yeah.
Then there is someone, I'm telling a young man, say go and study and be the best or come out with first class. Then he looks at the other guy who is just rapping, and he has 50 million already and is now signed to a record label. Fine, it's not a bad thing.
That's not to say rapping is bad.
It's not that it's bad. Okay. Now the other one is also important, which drives also, for most of the things that he needs for those rapping, and they are going to come from the researcher. And you now chose a part. That's why our entertainment industry is doing well, because the funding is fair. When it comes to research, the funding is poor. The encouragement is poor. Government is giving, have you heard of scholarship awards from your primary school to your graduation because of your intelligence? Some countries go to that length. They take their best brains, they send them out for foreign exposure, they bring them back to help develop the economy and the country. So we're not doing that. That's why government, that's the area government is actually failing. That encouragement that makes people, at a time in Edo State, when you go to almost every street, you see table tennis table who want to play. There are things like, then you now go to stadium, you now say, there are competitions. When you come out, these are your reward, because nobody wants to do anything without no reward. You see, reward system is the best way to recompense.
The best
it's a motivator, rather. It's a motivator. When you are rewarded or recompensed, you are motivated to do more. Then others who are behind you, this guy did this and that, he was giving this and that, he now puts his mind into it. Because as you begin to ponder on it, by the expression of the Almighty, you begin to get wisdom on that area. Because it takes thinking. You can't spend your time thinking about an idea, you come out and at the end of the day, give you 20,000. For what now? It's discouraging. You should begin to put money in those areas that is needed. Because unless that is done, are we developing third world? We are third world. We're not a developing nation. We remain at the back, at the receiving end. And our resources will keep living here to the foreign persons. We will be looking for visas to go there, and we'll be enslaved for life until we change our mindset. That no, let's appreciate what we have. It may not be the best, but we're going somewhere. We are saving our resources, saving our foreign exchanges, encouraging our youths. These vices you are seeing, most of them is of unemployment, no job to do, so they get themselves involved in other stuff. If they are well engaged, use your resources. Let me engage them. Let me be busy. They are busy. We'll go very far. Brazil exports football talents. Nigeria, go and check almost the English team, even not half of them. Check their own.
Nigerians, true.
Because they are encouraged.
All right.
So we need to do a lot of encouragement.
So there has to be a reward system.
Exactly.
All right, Deacon Matthew.
Exactly.
As we begin to wrap up, yes, we actually do not have
we need to build on that. Give incentive to those that are deserving of it. Now, I do say time without number. Our politicians will stop rewarding those that help them carry ballot box, because one political party will come and go, but your indices, your economic indices remain. The value of your currency remains. The value of your passport, the international community remains. 4 years will come and go. 10 years to come, 20 years to come. What is it?
What legacy will you be?
Will you leave? That is what research and development does. Help you build legacies.
All right.
The fact that your idea didn't come true, even in your lifetime, your principles that you instituted are not forgotten. You understand? There's a brand of drink that has your name, so number up. You understand? Wow. There was first attempt, second attempt. It was a recording for their success until they got it finally. So we should stop patronizing, reward. Not just that you will not reward them, but focus on what we build on legacies. You understand? Research and development is inevitable. Right. It's integral. It is indispensable. If you must make a headway, and if you must stand out. You see, you that throw stone to the market, you don't know it's going to mean. You think you are doing yourself good now. You are driving on SUV because you are in power. Tomorrow, when you drive, there was a cleric, from Nigeria here. When he went out, even to where his religion is highly practiced, he was turned out because his tendency is not what it is globally accepted. You understand? Don't think you are in here now. You just making headway. You are becoming a Superman because of your tendency, and that you keep along with it. In economy, there's what called product life cycle. From introduction to growth to maturity to the decline, and in that decline, it is your enhancement, your innovation that keeps you on. Okay. If you do not build it when you are growing, when you are maturing, there's no way you can, leave a legacy behind. So please, our leaders, without you are our fathers, because without the government, we can do little or nothing. Let us not be boastful, say we can do this, we can do that. Without the government doing the needful, individual corporate bodies can do what they can, but it will not see the light of the day. We need more research and development. Engage the youth positively. Build on your natural resources. It is not even that it is inferior. You understand? It is what is needed.
Of course.
That's your product you think is inferior to that. The white man is jealous of it as it is.
I totally agree with you, and I guess that was what Mr. Kingsley was saying.
Yes.
That
so
we must begin to appreciate what
what you do. My brother was talking about what I'm putting on. If you know what you want to that, are you sure you are the producer of this? And if we develop on it on a mass production scale, Nigeria can make foreign earnings from it. By the time we begin to sell abroad on export, because without your export exceeding your import, you are balance of payment deficit.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Matthew. I actually do wish we had more time, but time is never our friend on this program. But I must say a very big thank you to you both for doing me the honor of being on this episode of Flipside with me. We've had a very interesting conversation.
Yes.
Research, a catalyst for development. Well, you've heard from the horse's mouth. It takes a lot for a nation to develop, and one of such things is research. One of the things that I would say I'm taking away from this conversation is what Mr. Kingsley said, that we must have a shift of mindset. I think we have a mindset problem in this country, and that's one of the reasons why it seems like we're lagging behind. Nigeria has everything it takes to be, the real leader. I'm not just talking about the
giant,
the abstract giant of Africa title that we have. We must begin to do the right thing just so we can take our rightful position in the Committee of States. My name is Harry Igboje, and until I come your way again, same time, same station next week, do the right thing, stay out of trouble, and have yourself a blessed day ahead. Bye for now. Some days, there comes the Ugemobo Festival, which the Oba celebrates outside the palace gate. A pavilion is built of red cloth where rites are performed to drive away all evil spirits still unsatisfied by the year's sacrifices. The Emobo Festival is to commemorate an event in Benin history which dates back to 1504 AD.
Yari yari, Ọba Tope. Yari yari,
The Oba of Benin added a colorful mood to the year's celebration as he walks round the city center amidst cheers.
ITV, certainly the best.
Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Itchings and Voices here on Independence Television and on radio. My name is Mamedu Rebecca and I'm your host for today. And first of all, I would say hope it's not too late to wish our children a happy Children's Day. And we'll be continuing on the conversation that we've been on for a couple of weeks now, which is on inclusive education. And this is a special edition because this week we celebrated our Children's Day, which we will be here to also talk about the importance of education for children. For the past few weeks, most of our guests have talked about why inclusive education is more important than just integrated education for every child, most especially children with disabilities. And today, of course, we have our sign language interpreter, Cynthia Godwin-Aya, that will be doing justice to our hearing impaired community. And our guest for today is Mr. Kingsley Eromesele, who is a teacher in Iyogbe College. Welcome very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's nice to have you. Okay, so we'll go straight into the conversation. So with your experience, we know a lot of people have different ideology of what inclusive education means. But I want to ask you personally, what does inclusive education mean to you? How do you see inclusive education?
Thank you very much for that question. My own perspective of inclusive education is a system of education whereby learners learn in the same environment, irrespective of their person, irrespective of their disability, in view of what Federation of the Deaf, we also support inclusive education, but with a condition that it must be that inclusive education must be made culturally accessible to hearing impaired children, to the deaf children, with the use of a sign language interpreter to give them access to information, free access to their peers, because there is no way you can train a deaf child without including them in an environment where they have hearing counterparts and friends. That's how I see inclusive education as it relates to the deaf.
Oh wow, thank you very much, sir. So what would you say, aside from what you just said, can you throw more light on the exact importance on inclusive education for a child that is hearing impaired? Because you made mention of how culturally it should be made available for children with hearing impairment. So can you throw more light on the importance of it for children with hearing impairment, if you're specific now?
That the very first importance is that education is a fundamental human right. Every child, irrespective of the disability, should have access to education. But as it is, education is not fully accessible to some deaf persons. In Edo State now, for example, we have 18 local governments with only one secondary school that is accessible for the deaf, and we have 5 primary schools. So in that regard, education, we can't talk about inclusive education because it's not accessible to many deaf. Again, our children relate with their friends, they live and relate with other people in the society. Inclusive education, as the children are relating and mainstreaming with themselves, they learn to live independent life. that inclusive education is important to the deaf person because it will make them to see that the society is wider than what they think because they have access to relate with other people. But if the school is segregated, it is possible that some deaf will not benefit from the importance of inclusive education.
Oh, wow, thank you, sir. And from what is said, are there some challenges that are perhaps particular to students with hearing impairment that maybe children with other kind of disability might not experience? Because since we've been talking generally on inclusive education, but now bringing it to students with hearing impairment, are there some challenges they face that maybe a child with physical impairment or visual impairment might not experience per se? A child in wheelchair, for instance, can get admission into a nearby school, can look for a way to enter the classroom and learn with other children. But for a deaf child, cannot just gain admission into any school, whether the school is closed or the school is what the parents, is the choice of the parents. If that school does not have provision for inclusive education, a deaf child cannot benefit from it. Another challenge is lack of sign language interpreters. Without sign language interpreters, deaf education is meaningless. When we really want to talk about inclusive education for the deaf, it will mean a situation whereby everyone can sign. For example, I, as a teacher, if as a teacher in a deaf school, imagine a hearing child, for instance, coming to gain admission in a deaf school, and every person in the school, the learners, the teachers, they are all signing. How will that hearing child benefit from education in a deaf school? So it is the same. That's how a deaf person also feels, being in midst of others who can hear, who can talk, but they cannot hear and talk. Again, lack of technological devices can also affect deaf learners in an inclusive system. The deaf, they cannot hear, but they depend largely on what they see. But if you go around, you will see that they don't even have technological devices for teaching them, even in schools where you have sign language interpreters. No projector, no pictures, no. Again, some children have hearing aids. They were given as gifts. Some of them do not know how to use it because they do not have access to audiologists. The schools are very far from the homes of our deaf children. Now that we have one deaf school in Benin City, some of our students live at Saple Road Bypass, some live at Oluku, some live very far away from school. Leaving the house, no matter how early, they will arrive school tired and late. All these are challenges that the deaf are facing in an inclusive system. I know that deaf education is expensive. The money you will use to train 3 hearing children is not enough to train one deaf child because of these challenges. A parent came to me last week sharing the daughter's story that the child is looking for admission into a higher institution. I referred that parent to Ilorin, where the child will have access to facilities that can help him or her to learn.
I did not mention University of Benin. I also mentioned University of Calabar and University of Ibadan. But I couldn't mention University of Benin because I know that we do not have the facilities there. There was a time I visited the Deb Primary School. I saw more than 5 parents sitting in the compound. And I asked them, are you people not going to work or to your business places? The parents answered that they come to school every day because their houses are very far. So they will hang around until their children will close and they will take the child back home. Just imagine. They are supposed to go home in the morning after dropping the child and come back to pick the child. But just to ease the cost of transportation, they now decide to be staying in school until their children will close. So those are some of the challenges that we are facing in deaf education presently.
Wow, that is a lot. And some of the things are some of the things here are things that might not naturally or normally cross our mind. And from the first thing he said, he made mention of how one of the things we need are teachers that can sign. And I want to ask a question. So for education for children with hearing impairment, should there be a separation for sign language interpreters and then teachers, or it's meant to be like incorporated? Because a lot of times we talk about sign language interpreters and then we talk about teachers separately. Is it supposed to be like that, or most of these teachers are meant to be teachers that can sign and relate with children that have hearing impairment?
Please take the question again.
Okay, so a lot of times we have sign language interpreters, and when we're talking we make mention of the need to have sign language interpreters, but now we need teachers for students with hearing impairment, teachers in maybe deaf schools. So are they meant to be two separate jobs, or teachers are meant to learn to sign too? I don't know if you understand the question.
In real practice, sign language interpreters are different from the teachers. I attended a program in Abuja that was organized by Gallaudet University. There we had some teachers who were deaf teachers, and we also had interpreters. They made us to understand that the work of the sign language interpreter is different from the work of a deaf teacher. So that is what it's supposed to be. But in real practice, when we have a sign language interpreter who can also teach, we bring them together. But in the real sense, they are supposed to be separated. But in Nigeria, we put them together, we mainstream them. In Nigeria, we are talking about inclusive education, but do we really have the facilities for inclusive education? No. So for that, personally, I recommend partial integration, whereby you have special needs students in the same school environment with regular students, but having their lectures in separate classrooms. Inclusive education, I fully support it in higher institutions, because at that level we have students who have gone through the process of a strong foundation from primary to secondary. Then at the university level, they would have gained enough skills and attitude that will enable them to cope in the same classroom with others. But for primary school, I do not recommend inclusive education for deaf, even at secondary level. In primary school, maybe junior secondary school, up to junior secondary school, you can have some students who will not be able to make a simple sentence, but it's not the same thing in the regular school.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We'll have to go on a very short break, and when we come back, we're going to continue from when we stop on the conversation. Thank you. Welcome back from that break. Like we were talking about earlier, so you spoke about how you would advise for children in primary and secondary school to have partial inclusive education, if I'm correct, and not full inclusive education for the need to be integrated properly.
Yes.
Okay, so but now talking back to the teacher, so what is like the ideal process for how it should be? Since he said in the real term it should be that the sign language interpreters are separated from teachers. So how is the class system going to be? Like, will teachers be teaching while we have sign language interpreters interpreting? Wouldn't that like slow down the flow of like lectures for the students?
Thank you very much for that question. In the classroom, the teacher will teach with sign language. The teacher who understands sign language will teach using sign language directly. But if you now have another teacher who does not have the skill of signing, that's where the interpreter will also come up to interpret what that teacher is teaching. So in that situation, that sign language interpreter shouldn't be given a subject because the workload will be too much. So that person is just there to interpret, and for other communications outside classroom, the interpreter will come up to do the job.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense now. And I think there's a big shortage in the teachers for the disabilities community, like teachers that are in the disability community. I can be corrected, but how can we integrate more teachers? How can we change the system and have more teachers who are well equipped to lecture in special education, maybe teachers that can sign and all of that? What does he advise, or what does he think can be done to have more teachers be integrated into the system?
We have to start from school, encourage students to study special education. When we have more of our regular students, hearing students, having interest in studying special education, if they graduate, they will certainly come back to teach in a special school.
You don't have Edo State. Other states may have it. Other states may have a lot of challenge than here.
Yes, if we want to check statistics, other states may have enough special teachers, more special teachers than us. But here, as you said, we do not have enough special teachers. It's not everybody who can interpret that can teach, and it's not everybody who can sign. It's not everybody who can sign, who is a sign language interpreter also. Neither, we are talking about special teachers. We also do not have enough sign language interpreters in Edo State. If you go to our special school at Afuze, Auchi, Uromi, just visit the school. Just go there and see if we have enough special teachers or not. We do not have.
Wow. I want to know, what does he think? He made mention of the need to go back to schools, like school is the solution, maybe advising more students to go in the field of special education and study special education. What does he think about integrating it into like general schools? Now, it's a different thing if it's like special education as a course, but now special education as like a subject from primary, secondary, university. So it's like everybody is integrated into it instead of people just specializing on special education. What does he think about that?
So that would be a very welcome, that would be a plus to the deaf community. It's a welcome development. The federal government, if the federal government can do it, it will be a plus. Where we now have sign language as part of our curriculum, should be a language that should be studied. After that, you now have students who will develop interest in studying different special education, so they will come back to teach in a special school. the government should also, apart from that, encourage teachers, because teachers are poorly paid. Nobody wants to go to school to study education. Let the government make the profession attractive to the younger ones, so that we can have more and adequate teachers in schools. Anything short of that, nobody will be interested in it. Yes, no matter the policy that we make, it can fail because teachers will not implement the policies in the classroom because their welfare packages are poor. So let us treat teachers the same way we treat doctors, lawyers, and engineers. If we do that, you see a big difference. People will be rushing to study education courses, including special education.
Well, that's very true, because at the end of the day, we want to be able to feed and make ends meet from every single profession that we are in. So So I know we are still talking a bit about the teachers. Yes, we'll go back to children later on, but I want to ask one more question pertaining to teachers. Are teachers that focus on special education, are they segregated too? Is there like a segregation in the teachers? Because we are talking about inclusion generally. Is there any form of segregation?
He's asking if it's in form of salary or what? In
salary, yes, salary or any other thing.
Okay, in terms of salary, I would say that special teachers have special education allowance. But looking at the nature of their work, that special teachers allowance is not even enough. A regular teacher can just enter the classroom, explain within 15 minutes, 20 minutes, they are through. But a special teacher will enter the class. That same lesson, the teacher will not be able to finish it in 30 or 45 minutes. So the workload is different. You can never compare a regular teacher and a special teacher. So there is segregation. Even if it is a teacher for the visually impaired or a teacher for those who are intellectually challenged, you cannot compare the workload with a regular teacher. So the special teacher's allowance should be increased so that it will become more attractive.
A child came to the school and is 10 years without language.
Just imagine a special child, a deaf child, coming to school at the age of 8 or 9 or even 10, no matter the age, without a language. The teacher will have to go and start from the scratch, teaching alphabet, teaching 1, 2, 3. It's not as easy as we think, because regular students at that age would have acquired some level of language, would have acquired even some literacy skills before coming from home. Yeah. So it is not the same. You can't compare the workload. So government should work very hard to increase the teacher special allowance.
Okay, I had to make mention of that so we know what exactly we are facing and the different challenges even with teachers and not just with our students. But I would like for him to take us back a bit to, he mentioned assistive technology earlier on, and he made mention of the importance of children with hearing impairment to visualize things. Can he help us to make mention of some of the assistive devices that students with hearing impairments might need?
Okay, a few deaf can make use of hearing aid. When I was younger, I used the hearing aid. With it, I was able to take dictation because my level of hearing at that time was higher than now, but now I can't. Hearing aid, before you use it, you must go through the audiology test to know the level of hearing and to know the suitable hearing aid for that particular person, not just to gift someone hearing aid and you expect the person to use it. Projector is also another technological device that the deaf can benefit from. It shows pictures. When that child sees the picture, they will remember the picture, they will remember the spelling, they will remember what is used for. So it helps them to learn a lot. Deaf do not learn in abstracts. The deaf also need audiologists. We have special teachers, but in every special school we are supposed to have trained audiologists for placement, but we do not have as it is right now. Smart board. Yes, smart board is something that the deaf can also benefit from, but we do not have it. There are speech to text devices, one of which can be glasses. Some of them are glasses, some of them are wristwatches, but for students they can benefit from glasses. Whatever you are saying, the screen of the glasses will just be bringing it out in text.
Wow.
The child can read it and see it, but we do not have it. So when they have such glasses, they don't need a sign language interpreter. If the language is in English, as you are talking, the device will just be translating into text and the child can read from it and will know what you are talking about. But we do not have all of these, but these are the technological devices that can help a deaf child to learn.
Wow, this is very nice, because I think most of the time a lot of people think it's just sign language interpreters that can help a child communicate better in society, and just sign language. This just made us know that there is actually so much more to it. So I would like for him to, in a few words, like what can he say to maybe government, to people who can assist, and what word can really want to pass out to the government, people that can assist, even parents, when it comes to encourage them to maybe send kids with hearing impairment to school, and what way would he tell the government to assist them more?
Government should assist deaf students with scholarship. It will help many deaf to further their education after primary and secondary school. I'm in love with Ondo policy of education. As a student, every student from Ondo, they are all on scholarship, special students. Every year, they collect scholarship. All through my education, I never benefited from scholarship. Only the one I benefited was from First Bank. From my state, there was nothing like that. This will encourage many parents and students to further their education. For parents. For the parents, they should not relent. They should not be tired of encouraging their children to continue education. They can become what God wants them to be through education. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir. It has been a very impactful session in the studio today. Thank you for joining us. And in a few words, I would say that education is a leveler for every child. Every child needs education. From a child with hearing impairment, a child that is visually impaired, every single child needs education. So we are calling on to the government and to developmental organizations that can help even here in Edo State to make sure education is accessible for every single student. And remember, this is NAVID, Network for the Advancement of Persons with Disability, and we are bringing Itches and Voices to you. And I remain your host, Rebecca Mamidu. And remember, spot the itch and be a voice. See you next week, Friday.
ITV, certainly the best.
The right to bail is one of the fundamental rights available to a person who has been arrested and accused of committing an offense. And what could be these rights? What are the thresholds? What are the limitations? And what kind of bail are really available in terms of what they constitute? And all of these could also gear towards ensuring that the right of the person being accused or being arrested are really protected. How do we galvanize all of this? Looking at the essence of Law and You that questions critically the aspects of the law, and of course how to elucidate those areas that seem to be blurred before the viewers. And this is where we always come in. My name is Philip Omo-Gyukmo. Welcome again to another opportunity to take you through the school of thought on the legal system in Nigeria. What could be the benefits of bail to the citizenry? And of course, what could be the limitations? Who can be given the right to be bailed? And who shouldn't be given the right to that? Joining me in this is a legal practitioner, Emmanuel Obakolo. Thanks for joining, Emmanuel.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's a delight to be here.
I know we've gone through this corridor, through this road some time back, but we got to expand it and look at how we can deepen practice in order to bring light to those areas that seem gray. And we look at the aspect of the law. Is bail a right or a privilege?
Bail
and first of all, what is bail?
Firstly, what is bail? In the case of Caleb Ojo and Federal Republic of Nigeria, the court defined bail to mean generally freeing or setting at liberty an accused person. Then the Police Act, Section 27 of the Police Act, also guarantees bail to a suspect at the police station. But ultimately, Section 35, subsection 1 of the Extant Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria guarantees bail, wherein that provisions does provide that right to liberty. So every person has right to liberty by virtue of the provisions of Section 31, Section 35 rather, subsection 1 of the Extant Constitution. Then Section 35, subsection 5 of the Extant Constitution provides to us, in paraphrase now, that where a person is arrested, the person should not spend more than 24 hours wherein from the police station to that court, to the court, has a radius of 40 kilometers. And where the distance is more than 40 kilometers, it should not be more than 48 hours for the person to be charged to court. So when you sum all of this, you discover that bail is as of right and not a privilege.
Okay. But well, let's look at the concept again critically. Who gives bail? Is it the police or the court or both?
Now, there are three types of bail. 1, police bail. 2, court bail. 3, bail by government agencies.
Oh.
Now, the police bail is the one that most persons are aware of, that is prevalent in our society today. Oh, when a person is arrested, you see family members, you see friends running to the police station, and the first thing that they will seek for is that the person be granted bail. That is common with us, the police bail. Also, when the person is charged to court, you see they get a lawyer, and the first thing they will tell the lawyer is apply for the bail of our sibling or of our brother, friend, or sister, as the case may be. And what the lawyer does, if it is a lower court, for instance, like a magistrate court or a customary court, you see the person go to make an oral application. Also, a court of summary jurisdiction, like the Federal High Court, they can also make oral application. But just now, the court will seek or demand for an application, for written application for the bail of the defendant. Now, before now, we know them as accused person or persons.
Yeah.
But now the law has regulated to mean a defendant. So these are some of the steps. Then other government agencies like the DSS, like the ICPC, like the AFCC, they fall under government agencies. So all these agencies also have their modus operandi on how their bail is granted or how bail is granted. So bail comes under these three folds for a suspect or a defendant / an accused person.
Okay, well, let's look at it critically again. Some questions are always being asked. What offenses can be seen as bailable and what other offenses can't? I remember we drew some analogy some time back in that. So if you can breeze through it again and then also make us understand at what point can one not be given that bail?
Yeah, where the offense is a capital offense, for instance, murder, it is difficult for either the police or the courts or even other government agencies to grant bail. And in most cases, it is only the courts that may grant bail. And in such situations, the courts will look at extreme conditions before the court can grant the bail. Because bail, as despite the constitutional provision as of right, is still within the discretion of the courts to grant the bail. Yes.
Looking at the risk of
yes,
that
yes, because the court will consider certain factors whether or not the bail is granted. Yes. For instance, if the person, the defendant or accused person in this case, will abscond, the court may not grant bail. If the court look at it, if the prosecution is able to prove to the court that this person can jump bail, so the court may not grant that bail, despite the fact that bail is as of right, as guaranteed by the extant constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and also Section 27 of the Police Act. So, if again, another condition is if the person will interfere with the matter on ground, the evidence on his prosecution, if he has that capacity, that ability to influence it, to interfere with it, the court may not grant bail. So, you cannot now say, oh, because bail is as of right, as guaranteed by the Constitution, then the court in every circumstances must grant bail. No!
Okay. We're going to interrogate it in both ways. At that of the police bail, which is very, very conversant, which people are very conversant with, they usually say bail is free. But we know, to common knowledge, bail isn't free, or is it?
It is not free. I've had experiences with respect to that. And by the time you try to put up the argument that bail is free, even when you are seeing it, the inscription on the wall at the police station, bail is free, with capital letters, it is still not yet free.
So what's the component of the law in that?
It is unfortunate that we find ourselves in this quagmire, wherein, even as a lawyer, for instance, myself now, you go to a police station and you make an oral application for the bail of a suspect, or at times, even written application for the bail of a suspect, and the police will grant that application, and before you know it, the IPO in charge of the matter will tell you, I have an instruction from upstairs that so condition should be met, and one of the conditions that they will put forward is the condition of money, yet it is scripted on their walls, at times even the fence of the police station or the door at the police station, that bail is free. And when you begin to put up arguments that legally bail should be free, that there is absolutely no need for any person to pay money before bail could be granted or given, as the case may be. You may even be surprised, like I had one ugly experience. Family members of the suspect, you are not telling me, lawyer, you have done your own. At this stage, we should come in and see how we can free our brother. Okay. Because they are so much in a hurry to release the suspect. So in such situation, the lawyer may be helpless. And before you know, you may even be tagged, giving names, bearing names that are not yours, that this lawyer always want to be this, I want to be that. And like a policeman told me some time ago in the station, that even SAN, they come here to give us money, but you always come here and you just put a straight face, as if you are the one that was the first lawyer in the history of Nigeria. So when you begin to meet up with challenges like that, and that is what we see today has come to make the monetary aspect of a bail to become a norm.
Okay, but what actually is the consequence of this breach? Because it's one thing for us to say that we have a law. It's another for us to see how enforceable the law is if there is a breach. For law enforcement agents, for instance, that could be caught napping and collecting money for bail when the component of the law has it that bail is free. What is the consequence for such law enforcement agents who break the law?
The law frowns at it, but whether or not, if you put up that argument, maybe in the court, you will not take the police to court for demanding for money for bail.
Is it ridiculous?
I wonder whether you are going to succeed, because you meet up with denial. One, you may not have evidence to tender.
Because they are the one that provide the evidence.
Yes.
If at all.
Yes. Besides that,
or
the money.
You're the one that can provide. You as a citizen.
You don't have the evidence, because the money that is so paid for the bail is physical. They take it cash. They take the money cash. And we've seen situations where they will tell you, okay, if you don't have the money cash, pay to a particular POS, and then we go there and get the money cash from the POS.
In the process of taking that cash, for instance,
yes.
What about if there's a video clip to that effect?
What video clip? How are you going to do it?
Everyone is a journalist.
Unfortunately, you will meet with a very strong denier. Very strong denier. So at the end of the day, it may amount to exercise in futility. Maybe the court,
whatever that it hasn't happened, doesn't give room for its inaccessibility to this, as in, doesn't give room for it not to happen.
Yes,
I believe we are evolving, and our awareness as a people also is in the evolving stage. And so a situation where everyone is a journalist, and at every point T, one is able to get these evidences. Are you saying that such can be prosecuted in court?
They can.
Okay.
There are examples.
So we can still leave opportunities open.
Yes.
In that direction.
Yes. There are examples. Even within the police system, there are some top-ranking officers who will tell you what you have done is wrong. Even let's look at from the divisional level of the police station. You discover that the DPO determines what happens at that division. So when the DPO is somebody who is strict, who is disciplined, who does not want to hear of pay bail money before somebody could be granted bail, you see that all the rank and file in that division will sit up, and everybody will know. So it goes to tell that whatever transpires at the police station, it is within the control of who heads that police station. Yes. So the top, whoever is at the top, determines what happens.
This is quite a huge challenge, most especially if we trickle it down to the aspects of taking money at checkpoints, for instance, by policemen. It's in common knowledge that we see this, everybody see this, and just that we are unable to really, tackle this issue just now, because it seems to flow from the top. Now, this again is a bane of Nigerian development, and of course, an act of corruption. So if we are to change this process, what do we do? How do we go about it? Concerning making the law to be alive on this, and of course, for awareness to be done in this regard to make sure that we do not encourage the practice.
Well, good enough, the law is always alive. But who will be courageous enough to bring such situation before the law? Who amongst us will be courageous?
To expedite actions on that.
Yes. So the plight we find ourselves today is that every one of us, consciously or unconsciously, have contributed to it.
Are guilty. Guilty.
So in such situation, what do we do?
Because we
cannot blame the law.
Right. Is as guilty as the one who takes it.
Yes. So
if bail is free, he who gives money to the police is as guilty as the police officer.
It is, because it's a two sides of a coin. So the situation just now is that for the law to visit sanctions on such situation is that we ourselves should be ready not to contravene the law.
Oh, well, most especially when it comes to you who is at the begging end. You need to be free. You know, freedom is imperative, and so at that point, one may not want to, doggedly or ruggedly go into the aspect of ensuring that he or she doesn't give this money as a way of, payment for a bill. But again, we're gonna be crossing that road, most especially as there are also some mind-boggling questions as regards the court bill that you may mention of. We're gonna look into that after this short break. Do stay. Big thanks. Welcome back. The program is Law and You, and I am Philip Omogyu. I still have my guest with me, a wonderful guest, legal practitioner Emmanuel Obabolo. Thanks for being here still.
Thank you.
Well, let's go to court bill, and maybe after court bill, we could also do some nitty-gritty about expanding it. We usually see where they say you must have a land document or whatever in Abuja or in the choicest place of the country. There are some bills, that are so heavy when it comes to the financial amount that goes with it, most especially involving politicians. And sometimes it could be as huge as 50 million, 100 million, 500 million. Now, are these monies getting back to those who paid after the case has been, prosecuted, or are just this money going to the treasury of the government? And a situation where one who is made to pay this money is unable to pay it, is that not the way of denying that person justice of getting bail?
Very good question. But the understanding that that is prevalent in the society with respect to court bail is some persons think when the court makes that pronouncement of certain amount to be paid, that the shortee or the accused person or defendant, as the case may be, will be the one that will likely pay that money. But if you listen to the court calls that amount to be paid a like sum.
A what?
Like sum.
Like sum.
Yes. What it simply means is that money is not paid. The money can only be paid where the person jump bail, and that money will be paid by the shortees or shortees.
You mean that money
the defender? That money is not paid. Yes, the money is just a condition where the person jumps bail or abscond.
Okay. Well, looking at that case as concerning, jumping bail, we understand that this is Nigeria. If we are to look into a democratic practice in Nigeria, that we still find it unable to, practice stricto sensu as the democratic tenets expects of us as Nigerians. These people sometimes they jump bail, And are in situations where even those who were connected one time or the other to their Abacha loot, I don't know if they were eventually arrested or prosecuted, or at what point if they ever were granted bail, or if they jumped the bail. But just to put it in summary, do you see the laws in the country as enforceable, most especially as regards politicians who jump bail and one way or the other are not rearrested to face the charges against them in court?
Unfortunately, we've seen situations like this, even like that. Even just now, the sole contractor of the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway, Shaguri as they call it, he was a partner to General Sani Abacha, late General Sani Abacha. But today he's still the person that the present regime is romancing with. To the extent,
seems we've forgotten the history.
Yes, to the extent that a contract of that magnitude has been granted to him again. So when we talk of corruption and the prosecution of corruption in Nigeria, it is only when a party or parties in that corruption case don't have the nod of the government in place, particularly the executive in place. That is when you hear of the prosecution. Like we have just now in Nigeria, even where it is clear, expressly clear to every Tom, Dick and Harry that a particular person is corrupt and has corruption charges hanging on his neck. And by the time the person defects, decamp or jump to the ruling political party, the All Progressive Congress, then the matter dies a natural death. So we see that has no business with the court. Until a party is prosecuted, that is when the person will go through trial in the court. But when the person is not prosecuted, the court cannot jump and begin to arrest corrupt persons in the society and be taking them to court to try them. So all that we have seen rather in Nigeria today is that why corruption cases are not even having headway. Some bail is granted with stringent conditions, and you see that they meet the condition because they are partners in crime, participants criminis, so to speak, will now come and look for a leeway out to see how they can get him off the hook. But take note that the grant of bail is not the end to prosecution, but whether or not the prosecutor or the prosecution team or the agency in charge to prosecute will continue is another different ball game. We've seen today where somebody, the EFCC chairman boast on the national television and pages of the newspaper that until he gets a particular governor charge to court, that he will not rest. But today you see that governor is now a member of the campaign team of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And you see the man going about telling people that he must ensure that the president gets re-elected because he knows that the only way out for him to escape trial is to begin to make such promises.
Yes, I know this is becoming interesting because we are tying it into politics, and most especially if we must correct the process, then we must ensure that political actors, they do the nitty-gritty or they do the needful in following up with the law in order to make equality before the law as propounded by evidizing the rule of law, really, really effective in our democratic system. But again, let's also look into this aspect where some persons do say that sureties could be seen at risk if such who are accused jumps bail. Now, what is the guarantee that such a surety will not be denied justice in prosecution, like you said, concerning if the those who are accused jumps bail?
The surety must go through trial. It's a must. That's why before you stand as a surety for an accused person or a defendant, you must ensure that you know that person. And what some courts do now is that in their granting of bail, they will spell it out in black and white that the surety must be a blood relation to the person that is to be granted the bail. A blood relation, so that you can know how, where, and when to find him whenever he jumps bail.
Okay.
But where, however, we still have professional sureties who swear to an affidavit, make the affidavit declaration that they are blood relation, whereas they are not. But they collect money because they want to stand as sureties.
Can the law prove that?
It's difficult.
Can lawyers prove that?
It's difficult because we've seen that there is conspiracy even amongst lawyers and the litigants and their family members.
This becomes intriguing, exciting, amazing, should I say terrific. Interestingly, this is going to culminate into the next episode. Big thanks, Emmanuel Obakwala, for taking our time to be part of this.
It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, we'll see you on the part 2 series of this episode. Do stay.
ITV, certainly the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we are seeing on the stage is the Toro Cultural Princess Command. On the other side, we have the Gymnastic Boys. Gymnastic Boys, you don't know what we want to do now. We are reading upstairs. We are at the first floor. You don't know what we are going to do in the second floor. Always.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
Viewers, again, we welcome you to Message of Islam, reaching you from Independent Television. Today again, we have another very interesting topic to discuss, as usual. And to think about that topic, I have with me in the studio our regular participants. I have close to me Ustaz Sani Abdul Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you.
And Malam Nuruddin Asumbi. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We have just finished the Eid al-Adha festival, the festival of sacrifice. And while the Muslims who attended the Hajj, of course, by now, get ready to return. So let us look at the period we are, at the lessons from the Eid al-Adha festival. Let me start with you, Ustaz Sani Abdul Hafiz. We have just completed the Eid al-Adha festival, the festival of sacrifice. What is it all about? What are the lessons you can learn after this festivities?
Alhamdulillah, we give praise to Allah and we beseech for Allah's peace and blessings upon the noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The lessons from the festival of the sacrifice, they are numerous, we can say, but basically, on one hand, it is to it is one of the ways Allah magnifies the matter of the religion to the peak. Yeah, in the sense that in life, man tends to want to have some time for fun. So Allah Himself equally made having fun part of the worship. Because when the Prophet ﷺ came to Medina and he met the people that they had 2 days, they made amusement. He asked what were these days. When they told him, he said, Allah has replaced these 2 days with 2 days, which is the Eid al-Fitr and the Eid al-Adha. In this occasion, it has happened that when Abu Bakr came in and met the Prophet ﷺ lying in his room, he met some 2 girls that were beating some what you call containers as a way of producing amusement. So and he said, no, you can't do this in the presence of the Prophet because this is music. How can you be doing music in the presence of Islam? And the Prophet turned and said, Abu Bakr, leave them alone. Today is our Eid. So it's a time Allah wants us to have what you could call a little recreation. That it's not all about work. This is recreation, a recreation whereby you also seek to obey Allah by the fun and the amusement you're having. That is the reason when Allah commanded about the Eid, He said, وَلِتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ, so that you can magnify Allah for having guided you to the right path. وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, so that also you can be grateful. So it's actually a celebration of Allah's guidance. It's a celebration of faith, a celebration of obedience to Allah, a celebration of the virtues of Islam, as a contrast to the vices and the evils that society has, has been known with. To say that it is goodness that has to be promoted, it is faith that has to be promoted, it is obedience to God that has to be promoted. That's why when you are celebrating the Eid, you are not allowed to drink alcohol. You are not allowed to say you're going to have women around you with whom you are not married. You just make it. Okay? You can't just, engage yourself in the name of it's amusement, it's fun, it's a celebration. You can just do anything. No, everything is still within, obedience to Allah. Even the meat that you slaughter, that you say that's the peak of the fun. Everybody wants to eat something from the ram, the cattle, the camel, whichever of them that we have slaughtered. Allah is saying, لا ينال الله لحومها ولا دماؤها ولكن يناله التقوى منكم. It is not the meat, not the blood that Allah is interested in. It is the piety of your heart, the purity, that reverence for Allah that you have in your heart for doing this sacrifice. This is what Allah is interested in.
Thank you very much. Yes, we are still on the topic, lessons from the Eid al-Adha festival. So it's a celebration, and of course, celebration is allowed in Islam, not just walk every now and then. I'm coming to you now, I'll start Alam King Ashwini. Now, unfortunately, we have news that is viral about the kidnap of some pupils from some schools. And within this festive period, this is still ongoing. Insecurity. We are talking of obedience to God. We are talking of celebration and study. What can you say about this?
Well, thank you. In the very first instance, the Eid Adha is simply an amplification of one's submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There had been a fructifying relationship between Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam and his Lord. And that got deepened by that which ultimately led to the legislation that an animal be sacrificed on the 10th day of Zulu Hajj. Whereas, like my brother had described, it is fun, it is called celebration, it is one that goes beyond just celebration. Because beyond the celebration, it is quantified by a spiritual consciousness that translates it into an imperative of action. And once that consciousness is there, the act of barbarism that you speak about, which characterizes the forceful taking of someone, or whatever the individual has, for whatever reason, to tyrannize an individual, to browbeat individuals to do what they ordinarily would not have wanted to do, are a direct reflection of the absence of this relationship which was supposed to have been developed, that was there between Ibrahim wasalam and his maker. And so when you find an individual who does this, it tells you by how much is luxated from the essence of being. Because it will take one who has a fructifying, a relationship with its maker, to become appreciative of what you refer to as the otherness. In other words, the individual would not bring pains where he is not able, for example, to ameliorate a situation that would ordinarily have brought pain. He will do nothing to accentuate the tenuity of that individual snapping out of such a situation. And so when you forcefully take people for whatever reason, there can be no justificatory basis for doing that, but whatever reason you think you have is the most heinous crime that an individual can commit. But that it has happened, and there is an attitude, unfortunately, of insouciance on the part of those who in the very first place should have made it not to happen, but who are still on sabbatical in spite of the fact that it had happened, becoming indifferent, supercilious towards the harrowing experience those who have been in captivity are going through, tells you by how much we have missed what the lesson we are supposed to derive from Ibrahim alayhi's experience with his maker, which culminated in the instruction that you sacrifice a ram.
Let me come to you again, start analyzing at this. We're talking of sacrifice. And is there any reward for sacrifice? Can you please tell us this about the reward you get in this period starting from passing on Arafat Day, which are passed, then the sacrifice of animal itself, and the reward we get for distributing the animal. Now, I'm going to talk with paradise. How does paradise look like? People like to go abroad. Some will sell their cars, they do their food for dinner fashion.
Now, the Hajj, the Eid, and everything that are prescribed for us to do within they are happening at a time that we refer to in the religion as sacred months. You know, including the horrible, unleashing of terror on innocent persons somewhere, anywhere. This is sacred month that even, the Muslims who are combatants are not allowed to initiate a war. So you now talk about people going, stooping so low to say that they are now taking to hostage, so to say, innocent teenagers, for what reason you told us. Now, so the reward for sacrifice, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts it simple. It is Jannah. It is paradise. The one who goes on Hajj and performs the rites correctly, the way they were supposed to do, what we refer to as Hajj Mabrur, the virtuous Hajj. The Prophet ﷺ said it has no reward than paradise. The one who comes back from Hajj, the Prophet ﷺ says, when they have done this Hajj correctly, they return to their home like the day their mother gave back to them. It's a cleansing time. It's a time where a person, removes himself from sin. The Prophet ﷺ says, there is no day that Allah emancipates people from the fire with such a great number as the day of Arafah. The day of Arafah, the Prophet ﷺ says, anyone who observes the fast of the day of Arafah, the sin of a year before and the year ahead will be forgiven to this person. So, it's a time to maximize gains. The Prophet ﷺ says in the first 10 days of the Hijjah, any good deed anybody does attracts such a reward that is not attracted by any good deed you do outside outside this time within the whole year. To the extent he was asked, not even the jihad, he said not even jihad, unless for a man who goes with his life and his property and never came back with anything. Sacrifice is the price most of the time that has to be paid for what you consider to be unbelievable to be turned around. If you say you want to, for example, turn Nigeria around for the people to experience what we call a breath of fresh air, at least, return Nigeria to something better, it's going to take a lot of sacrifice from us. We have to pay a price. And the price we simply will need to pay is to say, Allah is our Lord. So that everybody should conduct themselves in a way and manner that the way I would not like to be treated, I shouldn't treat another person that way. Politics is all over the place. All our activities are, they are painted. They are dyed with the dye of political affiliation. How do you place matters? Do you do anything for God's sake at all? Or everything has to be done with a political interest behind in the mind? That if you don't allow it, then you're going to be, pushed away, you're going to be thrown to the ground. There has to be this consciousness that we are all human. We are all children of Adam, going to be in the grave after our death. None of these things we are going to take with us. Why will you, take pleasure in having some people suffer while you enjoy whatever it is that maybe was supposed to be shared between you and God. It is a sacrifice. A person consciously, deliberately decided that I am going to deny myself what does not belong to me.
Malam Nuruddin Asunuga, I'm coming straight to you. We are looking at lessons from the Eid al-Adha festival. And Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam had a great role to play. Same thing as Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The place to go is paradise, and the place to avoid is hellfire. Can you please, I want you to preach to the viewers on the importance of the period we are and the need to seek paradise and avoid the hellfire at all costs. Lessons from Eid al-Adha festival.
Yeah, whereas for the ordinary person, when you do what Allah had asked you to do, the desire would mean to please Him and to earn paradise.
No.
When you stay away, of course, is to escape the punishment of hell. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam didn't relate with Allah on the basis of this, because that would have been transactional. He related with Allah on the basis of the fact that whether paradise existed or didn't exist, Allah was deserving to be worshipped.
Allahu Akbar.
In other words, the sacrifice made by Ibrahim was that there was an object he had identified, and that object was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the fixation of the value that was placed on that object directly was responsible for the amount of investment that was made. It was an object for which Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam had absolute trust. For us who are aspirants wanting to become Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, who are struggling to become his mentees, what we're supposed to do was to become Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam incarnate, without necessarily relating with Allah in a manner that is transactional. Allah ordinarily is a gravitational force. Whether you willingly move in his direction or not, he pulls you in his direction. Except that you only get rewarded to the extent to which your action was volitional. And so we tell people that everything you find is ephemeral, transient, fleet-footing. And so why would you desire, become so desperate about what is transient? I have found people, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam didn't do this, who practiced theodism on the basis of wanting to gratify their hoggish proclivities. Mr. A occupies a position of authority today. They are laudatory in their praises of Mr. A. Mr. A leaves that position, they become condemnatory and praise the one who is there. But because whoever occupies a position that is mundane always get impregnated by the spirit of imbecility. And so you can't have the capacity for reflection to say, oh, he had said this of my predecessor, and now he's saying this of him and eulogizing me. What would he say when I'm gone? And in any case, if you outsource your validation, you run into serious problem. If I occupy a position of authority and I'm doing what is right, my conscience will tell me that I'm doing what is right. So I don't need any one person to say, hey, excellency. And what is excellent about you in the very first place? Because these are attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala which no man shares. Wow. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam appreciated this. But today, because of what we would eat, and the Prophet tells us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, for as long as the heavens, whatever remains, my resources will never deplete. They will not diminish. And I will continue to give to you. And what I give, even 1 trillion of that, will never operate to reduce. So nothing operates to miniaturize the powers that Allah has, the capacity that he has to deal with us, his creature. But the fact of the matter is that unlike Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, who believed, we are struggling to believe. We pretend to have believed. That is the biggest problem that we have, for which we are still in the quagmire that we find ourselves today.
Thank you very much. We are looking at lessons from Eid al-Adha festival. I'm coming straight to you again. We'll start Saleh Abdul Hafiz. Tell us about paradise. The reward of Hajj Mabrur, well-performed Hajj, is paradise. In fact, most of our deeds to please Almighty Allah to earn paradise. But Ibrahim alayhi salam, as we have been told, he was not transactional. He believed Allah was worthy of being worshipped. Whether there is paradise to go or not, Allah deserves to be worshipped, to be praised. And so, for those of us who obey Allah on condition that we want to tell us about paradise, let people know that it's better to, some, as I was saying before, some will sell their cars and get a lot of money to be able to get a trip abroad where they say they are going for greener pasture. Let people know that the greenest pastures are in paradise.
Now, Allah placed paradise as his own appreciation of the demonstration of obedience by his servants to him. Because it's born out of faith. It's only because you have believed in Allah. That is why you are told, oh, Allah commanded this and commanded that, and you say, oh, I hear and I shall obey. The people of Medina, when they took the pledge of Aqaba with the Prophet ﷺ, the question they asked the Prophet was, as we are going to give you, accommodation, reception in Medina, what's going to be our own gain? What are we going to be paid? He said, you're going to have paradise. And they said that was okay.
In fact, more than okay.
Yes, it was more than okay. The belief in paradise is a belief in, what this world has never produced of pleasures, comfort, convenience, satisfaction. That is paradise. As the Prophet ﷺ put it, what no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no heart has contemplated. That is what Allah has prepared for the people in paradise. To tell you that whatever stress you are going to go through, to be faithful and to be obedient to Allah, forget about what you suffer. The Prophet ﷺ, made a metaphor of that when he said, if the one who suffered the most in this world were to be placed in paradise just for a moment and brought out, and you ask him, have you ever suffered? The response is going to be never.
Because he has tasted paradise.
Just for a moment. Taste for a moment. And the one who has got the best of what the world has to offer, of comfort and satisfaction, if you were to place them in the fire for a moment and bring them out and ask them, have you ever enjoyed? They will say, we have never tasted enjoyment. The Prophet ﷺ, he gave the idea of paradise that if the world and everything it contains were to be of the value of the wing of a mosquito, no disbeliever in God would have tasted it. So that whatever you think you have, it's just a fleeting, enjoyment, possession, provision that soon it's going to be no more. So that paradise is a place to long for. It is Allah's appreciation of your servitude.
So as we round off, please, the hellfire will hear, but can you please tell the viewers what it means?
Well, hellfire,
as we round off,
an average Nigerian will tell you that, well, he's already having a feel of what hellfire is, but that is absolutely not it. I want to say that Ibrahim ﷺ was thrown into hell, and Allah caused fire to work against its nature when he said, be a source of coolness for Ibrahim. Hell is supposed to burn, but did not burn Ibrahim. For those who occupy position of leadership, let us say this most frankly, without wanting to sound vituperative. Hellfire would observe its true nature. Because if you are a leader, a 9-month-old baby is been in the bush for over 3 weeks, and you are still able to sleep in the comfort of your home, you have a serious whatever to tell Allah when you meet with him. There can be no justification while you sleep, and a 9-month baby that is being suckled by the mother under the weather. I mean, it just means that you are not different from those who took them into captivity.
May Allah save us from his punishment.
Amen.
And may Almighty Allah grant us his Al-Jannah, his paradise. Viewers, this is all we can take today on the program, on the topic we have chosen, Message of Islam, lessons from the Eid al-Adha festival. We should endeavor to make sacrifice. Those are the ends of our fears. Please try as much as possible to rule with the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And those of us who are followers as well, we should also try as much as possible to have the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we shall all go back to Allah Maker, give account of our sojourn on earth to determine where we end up, paradise or hell. May Allah save us from the hellfire. Thanks for coming. Madam Udina Sonobi and Ustaz Sani Abdul Hafiz, and me, your uncle, Al-Adi Al-Amin Alau. You guys join us again next week for another vital mission of program Message of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
ITV, certainly the best.
This is Aqua Game, a popular game in Africa played by our ancestors to entertain themselves after each day of farming. It is also relevant in our coronation in Africa. It is a sport and indeed very interesting, as every seed had a role in the game. Playtime is 45 minutes per set. There is no age limit as long as you can spin Aqua Seed. Ayo or Aqua Game, known as the game of intellectual. This game requires a lot of mathematical skills. Aqua Game is played with carved wooden box containing 12 holes.
ITV, certainly the best.
Hello, good day and welcome to WIC Women in Conversation, where this is a table where women sit together to discuss things that are pertaining to the families, to the world in general. We talk about things that we think should be addressed as women. Anyway, today on this table, we will be looking at a very interesting topic that has been making waves in the social media. We're going to be discussing it and try to get our views and opinions of each woman that is seated on this table. You know how interesting this red table is. The red table is a beautiful space for women where we discuss and give it a positive answer. Anyway, with me this day to do this is Esther. Esther is on my right. Esther is on my far left. Esther Unen. Esther is she is an administrator, educationist, and a proprietress. Esther runs a school, and she didn't want me to introduce her that way, but I insisted that the world should know that she runs a school. I knew why I did that. I'll let you know that later, but she is also a proprietress. Esther, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's good to have you here as a proprietress. Of course, Children's Day is coming up very soon, so you're going to come back to this table to tell us more about children. Okay, so let me go to my near left, where we have Dr. Juliet Igwe. Dr. Juliet Igwe is the business person on this table. She is a business and a leadership coach. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you. And then to my right, I have Gift Furera. I hope I pronounced that rightly. Okay, so Gift Furera is a professional chef. She's going to be serving us lunch after this program. But anyway, behind the camera, I asked her what Furera means, and she says it's a beautiful flower. She's as beautiful as her name. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Okay, ladies, we're going to be looking at relationship with divorced persons, and I decided to bring in this to the table because of what has been making round on the social media pertaining Pastor Peace Ibiyoma. I hope we all know who Pastor Peace Ibiyoma is. She is the wife of Pastor David Ibiyoma. Okay, so during the week, Pastor Peace Ibiyoma was trending online after advising married women not to keep close friendships with divorced women, claiming they could negatively influence their marriages. The pastor went further to lay curses on women who snatch women's husbands, praying that they also will be inflicted with cancers, and even laying curses on the children. I saw the video and I decided that you women should speak about it. I don't want to talk about it. You all have your opinion. I have my opinion about what happened. So you have your opinion on what happened. I'm going to start with you, Esther. I also know you are a pastor. That's why I'm going to start with you. I know that you're a pastor. And this is a woman pastor who had come online advising married women not to have negotiation or not to have friendship with divorced women. And she went on to curse them and curse the children. What's the take on this?
Well, personally, this has to be my personal opinion. Okay. So for me, I don't really think, based on my own personal opinion, that she was right to say, using myself as an example, that I don't have any business to do with women who are divorced. Looking at it critically, it might not be their fault, and going through what has been happening, what if the woman decided to leave the marriage for health
or domestic purposes, domestic violence purposes?
Like we all know and we've been saying. So on that note, will I say, oh, because my sister left her marriage, I should not have anything to do with that? No, for me it's wrong, because it's not her fault. Basically, it's not her fault. For the sake of life, we all know, instead of a woman dying in that marriage, please leave. So I, as a fellow woman, should not, keep distance from the person. So personally, I don't think that was proper.
As a pastor, is there a sin to divorce? For probably like you said, it could be domestic violence sake. It could be different reasons why a woman decides to divorce. Is there a sin attached to that?
Well, the Bible critically states that God hates divorce. But now, in this situation, under these circumstances that we are finding ourselves, if it has to do with threat to life, I mean, they should be separated. They should stay apart, Maybe after a while, after counseling and after advice, they could come together. But at that critical time, that has to do, like we have been initially talked about, domestic violence, the person should stay. They should be separated.
Gift, let me come to you. Okay, this is a heart-touching story. I'm sure the video made so much waves on the social media, and I'm sure you have also seen the video where she laid curse and saying such women that goes around to take people's husband should be infiltrated with cancers. And she also went on to curse the children of such women. What's your take on it? Do you think it was the right thing to do?
Well, for my own personal opinion, that cause wasn't necessary. Yes. And then if I will start from where she said, that we have, relating with divorced people is wrong. To me, I feel maybe because she might be speaking from the position where she is.
What position?
As a pastor's wife, who must have seen a lot of things concerning divorce, and probably for the reason of evil communication. You understand? If you affiliate with the divorced people, evil communication, probably she might be talking on that terms. So, but laying curse on somebody who took somebody's husband and even to the children, that is not necessary at all, because it is not in her state to judge. Yes, it is not in her capacity to judge, because judgments, even let's look at karma. Even if she does not curse, let's just leave everything to karma. Karma will always catch up with anybody that defaults in any way. Okay, so that is,
Dr. Juliet, I know you're a business person, but this has to do with women, this has to do with family, okay? If you have a sister that is divorced, Pastor is saying that, Pastor Peace Ibioma is saying that you should not associate with your sister. Do you agree with her?
Well, I do not totally agree with her.
But there's a part where you agree with her.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
There's a part where I agree with her, because I want to believe that she's speaking from the perspective of a mother. A mom will always want to advise her children. Just like we are mothers, we advise our children, don't follow this person. This person might influence you. Don't go here, don't go there. So that is the perspective I want to agree with her to a certain percentage. But the fact that even if it's my sister, I shouldn't relate with her, except if that my sister has always been a negative influence on me, right? But if I know that my sister need help, relating with her in that time of stress, that time of divorce, would actually be what she needed to really rethink her decision for divorcing that man. And maybe through coaching, I'm a leadership coach.
I thought it was just for business. Okay, you do leadership coaching, right? Good.
So through coaching and support and therapy, she might find a common ground with her husband, and that would even help to resuscitate the marriage.
Okay, behind camera, I was discussing with a man, not even a woman, and he said to me, she probably is trying to say out what she's experiencing, but might not be able to, say it as a pastor and as a pastor's wife. not to tarnish their images. But that she might be experiencing, I'm not saying that's true. That's what the man over behind the camera said to me, that she might be probably experiencing ladies in the church trying to her husband. Okay, so she could be speaking from that angle. Do you agree with such scenario?
Well, you know, the thing is that you know, she might be, you know, talking in, you know, with what she is going through.
I'm going to stop you a little bit, Gift. Let's quickly go on a very short break. We'll be right back. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion. Please sit. Come back. It's to the table of WIC, Women in Conversation, where we discuss everything pertaining women, children, husband in a little bit anyway. But without the men, actually, we won't have the women. So we also discuss them. I just make them jealous when I say we discuss about them a little bit. We were talking on relationship with divorced persons, and you were saying something before we went on a short break. Please go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, you know, she is a pastor's wife. And most pastors' wives, they go through stuffs that they cannot relate. They cannot share, because they should be the one advising, not them talking about what happens to them. So probably is a ground for her to now appear.
Wow.
Yeah, probably is a ground for her to now, you know, say what is inside. I'm not
say what she has been swallowing.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You know, so it could be that, and it could be not. It could be not it, because she is a mother that has a lot of people she takes care of, and she could be saying her mind to them, and she could be, you know, advising them on something that they should, you know, also guard themselves about.
Okay, so yes. A lot of Nigerians have this has sparked a lot of reactions from Nigerians. Okay, yes, you want to advise your people as a mother, as a woman, but does it warrant you cussing? Let me start with you, doctor. You're looking at me. Does it warrant you cussing that they will be inflicted with cancer? We all know what cancer is, and then also curse the children. What is the business of the children in all of this? They didn't ask that they should come through, you know, that person, or through a relationship that is of a person's husband. They just found themselves in the woman's womb and having that man as a father. So what's
in fact, that was a no-no for me. You can't afford to curse people on the altar of the Almighty God. In fact, the Bible said you should bless and not curse. No matter the level of provocation, considering her standing, she shouldn't stand at that altar and curse people. That was where she got it wrong for me. Like when I spoke earlier, I said, I agree with her to some certain level. But for that part, it's a no-no. Let karma do its work. If Jesus had cursed all the people that worked against him, I don't think we will have someone like the great Apostle Paul. Because Apostle Paul worked against Christ. In fact, he killed a lot of Christians, but Jesus was still, he saw something that other people did not see. That someone is divorced today doesn't mean that the person is 100% a bad person. And that doesn't mean that the person cannot retrace her step and make the marriage work. So, cursing that person is a no-no for me. She would have stopped at the level of advising even to the people not to, you know, not to go into divorce or snatch people's husband, and leave that cursing part alone. So that is a no-no for me.
Do you think the curse came from a place of a personal interest? Like the man that spoke behind the camera saying she probably is going through a whole lot in her marriage and decided to use that curse to, you know, send a warning to people that she knows and the people that knows her we don't know.
Well, for me, I may say yes and no. Okay, Yes, on the ground that it might not be a person. It might not be. It could be maybe close relations, or as a pastor's wife she is, people from the church that she has close encounter with, and in the course of advising, in the course of ministering, she has heard a lot. So I from that angle, maybe she felt that's the right channel to address people. Don't go about snatching your fellow women's husband. So I see that maybe based on what she must have heard or having close people around her. So that's why I feel it could be she's coming from that angle.
So cursing is okay?
No, I'm not saying it's okay. You asked, is it based on what the person outside behind the camera said? So I'm saying it could be from a personal experience that she came to do that, but it's a no-no for me.
Okay.
She shouldn't have done that. Curse is from God, if at all he wants to. We are not in position to curse anybody. And as a pastor, we're in position to bless. You are to bless your friends, you are to bless your congregation, you are to bless, I mean, the people that comes in contact with you. It is not, let me use myself as an example, it's not in my position to curse anybody.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me come to you, Gift. Okay. Your name is Gift, so you give a lot of blessings. Let me put it that way. Was it right that she asked, or rather she cursed the children? Do you think God will listen to such prayers? We are not God. We are just assuming as humans, with what we have studied in the Bible. Do you think such curses, like the Nigerians will say, is in all water? Do you think such curses can get anywhere in the presence of God?
Well,
especially for the children.
I'm going to say that in two ways. The two ways I mean is that, you know, because she is a woman of God and she stood upon the altar of God and made that curse even to the children. You know, like in the scripture, there's a word that says, and you know, God will visit the iniquity of the parents to even to the 10th generation. He was going to visit their iniquity. And several times, so many people have heard in the scripture that God allowed the whole family to go down, like Korah went down with his family, like the one that wanted to hang Esther and Emma went down with his whole family, you know. So on that, she might be right. Okay, and then the second one, like I said, I'm talking about it in two ways. The second one is, you know, or we have a new dispensation now, you know, and that dispensation is dispensation of grace, that our Lord Jesus Christ has paid it all for us. So I believe that those things are shadows, you know, that have passed. So on this note, the children shouldn't have been involved in that cause.
Okay, so let's come down to, we're just looking at the Christianity aspect of all of this, and then the divorce and all of, and then taking someone's husband. Let's move it to our brothers and sisters in the Islamic religion, where they are allowed to marry more than one wife. In that situation, will you say that someone had come to take someone's husband?
For me, it's their culture, it's their religion. So the women there already know this is what is obtainable in our culture. So the man is not even the woman that goes to meet the man. It's the man that after the first wife, the religion says you can marry up to 4 wives. So it's not the woman that goes to meet the man, it's the man. So in that culture and religion, is acceptable by them. Yeah.
And so you think this cause will not affect such people? Because we're particular about the cause.
She's not referring to the Muslim.
No, she generalized
the
it.
Muslim. You said the man goes to meet
the woman.
Do you think that this husband snatching thing that is always the woman that goes to the man? Is it not the man that will go and tell the lady, I like you?
That's what I'm saying.
And from there, they start the relationship and the snatching starts.
So for me, that's what I'm saying. The man goes there. So, okay, I understand your question. But you know, in this part of the world, there are women who are consciously snatching the man. Yes.
You speak as if you have seen one before. Can you share? Snatching, consciously snatching. Can you share with us? Deliberately snatching. Can you share with us?
Well, I've not seen one, but we've heard, of course, we've heard a woman trying to, you know, be nice, going to extreme of doing things that ideally she's not supposed to do. You know, when you try to show, how do we have side chicks? So when you try to show a man some kind of love, when you think the wife is not doing at home, that is a way of, you know,
preparing the snatching.
Yes. I know there are some things you are doing which, as a wife, we all are wives. We know by the time you get up in the morning, running after children and do a whole lot of things, you might not really have that time to give the man.
Let me come down to this. I have seen a story where men walk away from their marriages, from their wives. Okay. And now if a man decides to leave his wife, not even divorced, but you just walk away and, you know, not even giving the wife the reason why you decided to walk away. You just took a walk and leaving the wife with the children. And then years have passed. And then another woman finds him and decides to marry him. Does this cause also? Because I am particular about the cause.
No, yeah, they of course the cause won't happen because that other woman that came later already was not in the scene at all.
Which other woman would have caused
the wife the husband already.
Any strange woman. She was not aware of any strange woman. So the cause now is on the man alone.
And you know, for the fact that some people enter marriages for some certain reasons. You understand? Because some of these marriages, some people enter transactionally. Maybe the woman has money and he came in, or the man has money, she came in, and now there's no money. You understand? So the man is off. So in the first place, the man did not even, for me, in the first place, in some situation, the man did not even come into the marriage with his heart, with being committed. You understand? Most cases it's like that.
Okay.
Yes.
We've just been told that our time is almost up. So but one word from every one of us. What is your advice to those that snatches someone's husband?
Please stop it. That is just one word. It's if you snatched someone's husband, just be assured that that same husband will be snatched from you. So stop it, whoever that is involved.
Stop it. Don't snatch someone's husband. To you, what is your advice to the pastor? Pastor Peace Ibioma. What is your advice to her? Continue to curse, or, you know, take back the curse and pray for your congregation?
Of course, she has to pray for her congregation. But I want to advise women, married women, take care of your husband. Make him happy, make him comfortable. If you notice that there is snatching going somewhere, let him know that thing he saw there is still here.
Right. So that thing that he saw there is still here. Where will you say those things are for women? Advice to women out there.
Well, I would say that, you know, they should respect their husbands. Yes, and make them want to yearn coming back home, wherever they are. And to those who are snatching husbands, I would say that women, we are the demons of, you know, ourselves. We are the witches to ourselves. Please, let's love ourselves. Let's love ourselves.
Okay.
Yes.
Coming from Gift, she's giving us gift advice. Let's love ourselves. Stop snatching. But you also, Dr. Juliet, also said that let's do those things that brings the men back home to know that those qualities are still in us. Give me one of those qualities that you advise a woman.
Look good always.
She already said respect your husband. But give me one word.
Look good always.
Looking good always.
Respect him.
Give him quality
Food. I know you're from Akwa. I know you're from Akwa, and I was expecting that. So if you didn't say that, I know you're from Akwa. Give him good food. Anyway, thank you, ladies, for coming on to this program. Esther said, give your husband good food. Very important. I know why I say that. Very important. I know men that don't want to eat outside. They will tell you, no, until I get home before I eat. That's because their husbands give them good food. And then their wives give them good food. And then coming from Juliet says, look good, just like she's looking good. There's no way her husband will see her and don't want to say, oh, come back home. And then from Juliet, and from Gift says, respect your husband. It is very important to respect your husband, because when you respect him, he will also respect you. Anyway, this advice I leave with you women out there. Stop snatching other people's husband. Until I see you again, I am Patricia Uremu-Gables. Thank you for joining us today.
ITV, certainly the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we are seeing on the stage is the Toro Cultural Princess Command. On the other side, we have the Gymnastic Boys. Gymnastic Boys, you don't know what we want to do now. We are bringing upstairs. We are at the first floor. You don't know what we are going to do in the second floor. Always. Well,